Alright, before we get started, I just want to let everybody know this episode is brought to you by our patrons like Audimus X.
喜べ少年
That's right, everybody! Welcome back to Let's Talk Fate Grand Order, your one-stop shop for all your Fate Grand Order needs. Well, most of your needs. Maybe all of your needs someday. We'll do Quartz giveaways sometime. Then we'll get all the views. But anyway, I am one of your hosts. I am Omega, and I have a face for radio. With me, as always, is Lucky, who has a mind for radio.
Debatable.
And today, we have a guest who has a voice for radio. Please welcome to the show, Voice of St. Quartz.
Why am I here? Why am I alive? Somebody help me!
Calm down. The drugs should have wear off any moment, I swear. I swear.
You know, it's
I don't
funny.
know where I am anymore.
I was going to say this before we started, but I forgot. But now I'll mention it. You can be as loud as you like, because we normalize the audio.
Yay! Oh, that means they're only quieting my screams. Somebody please help me.
Yeah, no one's coming to help you. I'm sorry.
That's
I'm sorry, Voice. We gotta do this for our views.
Also, you know...
They're squeezing the views out of me. Somebody help.
Well, you know, it could be worse. I'm thinking maybe later we'll take a chisel, some quartz fragments.
Oh my god, now they want to beat me to death.
Well, I mean, Japan is now getting 3 per. I feel like we should get our fair share, too.
Oh, it hurts so bad.
Alright, so yes, for realsies, Voice, why don't you say, in case any of our viewers don't watch your content, why don't you give the listeners out there a little preview? What do you do on your channel?
Hi, I'm the voice of St. Quartz, and I typically do FGO script analysis and streams, and now I'm even doing a series of videos on the, I'll call it the Prison Tower event. I'm doing a series of videos where I do commentaries over my battles in the Challenge Quest event, the Vengeful Demon's Wail at the Prison Tower. Oh my god, I actually got the title right! Yes!
Golf clap.
Patchy.
Alright, and before we launch our official Let's Talk FGO Guest questionnaire, I would like to say that I've heard before you should produce every episode like it's somebody's first, but I suspect, for some reason, this may actually be some people's first episode for some odd reason.
Why would you say that?
I don't know.
What would make you think that?
A guy might say that he was on Thing, and he has more subs than us. So, for those of you who aren't familiar with our content, this is Let's Talk FGO. This is probably our flagship show. We do this every week. We started as a one-off show and then went to a monthly show and very rapidly became weekly. But we talk about all things FGO. We do news. We do free talk, which is just fluff topics or other discussion topics. We have, fun little segments where we talk about how we're doing in the game. We offer tips and tricks. We do guides and stuff.
We tangent wildly.
Often, frequently. We also talk about any random old thing that could be Fate-related, as you will see later down in the topic section. But also, we do Let's Play style content where mostly me, but eventually, Lucky, someday we'll get a new phone.
Eventually.
Where we talk over missions
But
directly
speaking
and
of
you can
me,
learn how I'm terrible at team comp.
yeah. But speaking of me, I want everyone to welcome everyone to playing Fate Grand Order, aka it's easy to be sidetracked. So easy.
Accurate.
Like, we should have started this show like an hour ago, but we just got so into talking with Voice that just kind of went to the wayside.
They were very amused by my screams.
Mm-hmm. Sweet sustenance. And in our usual round of disclaimers, we're going to be talking about current and future events for both JP and NA. So anyone who doesn't want to do that should go kidnap a YouTube star.
That's not what you wrote down. You're going off script, buddy.
Hey, I'm working with it.
He's
Also, by the way,
enjoying himself now.
I should say 2 things. One,
Lucky confirmed for neutral evil.
There we go. I was about to say that. That was my bullet point 1. Number 2, there are 3 people on the microphones now, so I'm sorry. I'm very, very sorry for your ears. Because we're all going to talk over each other. Thanks, Internet. All right, let's do our official guest questionnaire. We have a series of questions to let our listeners get used to Voice of St. Quartz and what he's doing. Number 1, what's your favorite servant in FGO?
Well, funny you should ask that. Recently, I did a fun little character sorter I found on Tumblr, I believe? Something like that, somewhere like that. It was linked to me through there, at least, and it was pretty tough going through all those servants, because I didn't know who my number 1 was. I had a bunch of ideas in my head, and I didn't know who my number 1 was, but my number 1 ended up being, my queen, Semirama-sama, and I realized, I'm like, yeah, this makes perfect sense. She is exactly what I'm all about. 1, she's lawful evil. Perfect waifu category, which is keeping in step with our later discussion today.
Yeah.
Look forward to that. But also, aesthetic. Her aesthetic is all mine. Like, oh, she's perfect. Oh, even the weird spikes in her hands. I'm like, I don't care. I dig it.
You're gonna mention that.
Oh, I dig it. I dig it so bad. She's
yes,
also super hot. She's got super great voice. She's a queen. She has an amazing noble phantasm. If you haven't watched Apocrypha, oh my god, they certainly milk that for every shot they can.
Somebody in the Apocrypha team knew where the visuals were.
She's a double class servant because fuck you, that's why. And she's very intelligent and lives till the end. So I mean, I could go on. There is an actual laundry list, but this number one just makes sense for me. Yeah,
tune in 2 years to Voice of St. Quartz channel when he does his Semiramis video.
It will be perfection, I swear upon it.
I'm trying to think. What did somebody call her hand spikes? They were like hand-holding chastity belts or something? Something like that. To prevent the nudist activity, hand-holding.
We'll just do finger cuffs then. We'll just leave our fingers in and out. It's okay. In fact, that's more special.
All right, question number 2. Which of the original Fate Stay Night heroines do you like best?
Mato Sakura.
I knew that answer. I figured I'd let the fans get the answer to know. By the way, in case anybody doesn't remember from when we talked about this in episode 1, I think both Lucky and I agree. Rin.
That's not a bad choice. It's okay though. It's pretty plebe, but not enough worms.
What is it? I haven't completed the Heaven's Feel route, so I don't know. From what I know now,
no, it's okay. You don't need to complete it. She's best girl in every route. She's even best girl in other games. You ever play CCC? Oh, she doesn't even just BB. BB is literally just like a virus version of her, virus hacks version of her.
Hacks.
Super awesome. She's even got a different personality, but I don't give a shit because she's awesome. BB is great. Again, another character I could go into a laundry list of reasons why I love so much, but
I think the reason why most people are gonna love BB is that she's free and she beats up Avengers.
That too.
Very useful.
But I mean, I think my enthusiasm speaks for it.
All right, question number 3. How did you get into Fate/Type Moon stuff?
A long time ago. Thousands of years, in fact. Long did I urge myself to find a franchise that could teach me the history of the world while showing me the waifus I always wanted. And alas, one day, I found it. And it was called Fate. Aptly enough, such an appropriate title. Is that good enough?
Yeah,
I think we're good.
I'm also thinking...
No, really, it's been a long time. I don't even remember. It has been too long.
Yeah, I'm just thinking to myself, gee, this sounds familiar. This sounds like a me teenager who's like, oh my god, mythology's fucking awesome.
Years.
I really like the Epic of Gilgamesh. Which I do, actually, by the way. I really like the Epic of Gilgamesh. Gil himself?
Yeah.
Alright, now is our 4th and most important question. What is the best color?
Can I really answer such a question? Because, let us think about this. Technically, all color is the best color. Color is what makes us, what defines us, what brings us together. Color is what paints the universe and shows us the light that we long to seek. It is there before us. It indicates how far, how long, how every measurement, time and space, color, has been there for us. Color is the universe. How can there be a best color when all color is the answer?
I thought I was pretty extra, but apparently I am nothing compared to Voice here.
I take it you don't watch much of Voice's videos then.
I have reached enlightenment, good sir. Do not question how far I have come.
I was just gonna accept all colors because you're secretly a rainbow apple, but...
You're damn right, I'm a rainbow piece of rock!
By the way, that's wrong.
I would know a thing or two about color.
He is very prismatic.
I made the rainbow.
I should bust out my copy of
Where's that chisel?
Bank I open and then read Tite Kubo's emo poetry about red and white. But anyway, let's not do that. This is an anime power hour. Let's step into our next step. Where the fuck is Ron? Doesn't matter, we got somebody else.
Woo! Wait, no, I should be sobbing.
Also, see, this is when Stockholm Syndrome's starting to take effect.
I'm getting too used to you people. Get away from me. I might like you.
Audience, if this episode is like a bajillion hours long, It's his fault.
No, it's not! I'm just trying to escape in the only way I know how. By talking.
Alright, let's check in with some people's favorite Kohai, Mash, and get our usual tips and tricks out of the way.
先輩、起きてください。
That's right, it's time for Wake the Fuck Up Senpai, our regular segment for Protips. We have a double dose of Protips today. Number 1, I don't think we've said this before, but buff diversity is good. The same type of buff is treated as additive, different buffs are multiplicative. So let me see if I can explain this correctly. If, for instance, you have two 25% attack plus buffs, you add those together, you get a total of 50%. But, for example, a 25% attack plus and then a 25% buster plus would multiply to be slightly more than 50% damage, assuming my math is correct. There's no comment on that, so I'm just going to go with it.
Yeah, go for it.
Our credit to our lovely listener Jube for that suggestion, but I'm going to assume my math is
usually
right.
comes through.
We also have a second one.
You want me to take this one?
Sure,
I'm
go for
gonna
it.
take it. It's mine. Rank up quests give quartz at the end, so don't blow them off if you have them. They might seem like a bit of a hassle considering it's 20 apiece 5 times in a row. That's 100. But you get a free skill and you get quartz out of it. So do it.
Yes, do your rank of quests, especially right now because everybody, unless you're burning all your low rarity servants, which you really shouldn't do because interludes and bond quartz and rank ups, but
And some of them are just very good.
also, yeah, low rarity can be amazing. Hans, George, to name some major standouts that I think of. Everybody's used Sasaki Kojiro because he's an assassin who does stuff.
Actually, a great example of someone who becomes awesome after their rank up quest, Leonidas. Leonidas actually becomes awesome
Yeah, but
because he gets his buster up, which is exactly what he needed. Because not only does that make him stronger, but he also is very defensive, and he's a lancer.
also
So
he has taunt.
Yes, he has taunt. And his NP, while being buster but support, he can still make a buster brave chain, and it's still a very good NP.
All right.
But yeah, no, we've
Just thought
talked
so.
about how great taunt is before. It's an amazing status / skill to have. And oddly enough, mostly clustered in low rarity servants. All right.
Yes, for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know why. Though it's funny you mention a buster support NP. We talked about that last time, how there's only 2 or it's 3 or 4 buster support NPs, almost all of which are early game. So it's like
Yes.
Delightworks went, this mechanic doesn't work good. We should do something different.
Yeah. Hey, I think some of them work good, and then some of them are steno.
Ah, yes. Everybody's hoping she's the assassin rank up.
Oh, God.
Because she could still use some help. I shouldn't say that, though. I'm still angry. I haven't completed my Gorgon Sister Triangle yet. That's okay, Seno. They gave me a gold assassin for free. You don't need to come here anymore. Speaking of Gorgon
me
Sisters,
Gorgon,
let's
please.
move on to our Records from the Throne, our regular achievement topic. This is where we talk about stuff we've done in the last week or so that was pretty good. Usually max servant ascensions or levels, but sometimes particularly hard quests, or if we're doing events, whether we've cleared certain event items and stuff. I'll start. I protected that smile on Urale and got her to her max level. And I would have protected Berserker Lancelot's smile too, but thanks. Goddamn dragon
So,
fangs.
and on my side, it's nothing. It's just Ta-ma-mo! Smile protect. It took me a lot longer than I expected. Mostly because, just with the events, I had to pull out my waiver a lot more. I'm like, God. But now that's over, and waiver can go sit on the sidelines, at least until we get the extra support slot.
Mm-hmm.
So that
And
way I can
also
put
when
John
you
in there
when you
and
need
then
to pull
put
your
Tamamo in my
full
all.
arts memes.
There
Yeah.
wasn't a word you just said, Lucky, that did not turn me on.
Hey, how you doing?
You had to pull out your waiver for Tamamo, and now you're gonna set it off to the side, so Jean can take up that space. Ooh.
Yes, Lucky is blessed with a
Anyway.
full-blown meme stall team. He has classic Jean, Tamamo, and Waver, and thus he is indestructible if he chooses.
Yes, until Memeland.
Until Memeland.
Yeah, well, I'm sure we'll have some fun with that. But luckily, I know a few whales, so they're going to take care of that problem for me. Because guess what, guys? I don't play this game purely for gameplay memes. So what I'm going to roll for December is going to be Ishtar, which is also still
Friends.
really good. She's really good at what she does too.
Friends, letting them take care of you.
All right, so let's.
Boys, do you have anything that you feel like you've done that was really special?
Oh no,
achievement
I'm
worthy?
protecting smiles all the time. I don't know what's up with you guys. 1 a week? Ha 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 ha. How about more like 5 a week? I'm just so good at this game.
I don't know.
I mean, I am
watch
the
your video
voice of
today.
Sakura.
I see you do a free buddy. All right, let's move into Skelograms, which is our regular news segment where we talk about all the latest news of the week. And in case you don't get that joke, watch Fate Apocrypha. So,
Yes.
number one, Aniplex has announced that at Sakura Con 2018, which is in March, that's this month, they will have special guests Rumio Kubo, who's the character voice of Liz and Astolfo, and Yosuke Shiokawa, FGO's creative director, so look out for that if you're in that area.
I was looking out for it, and I am super jealous.
Like, I'm still on the fence whether I should go or not.
Yeah, because it's really expensive.
Because,
this
like,
place,
I'm
isn't it?
financially... Yeah, because it's, Sakura Con's in Seattle, and I live, like, literally a half hour away from it.
Oh.
But my wallet is not the happiest right now, and unfortunately, I do have to say I am financially responsible enough not to say fuck it and go, despite my wallet.
Lucky. Lucky.
What?
Be our eyes. Be our eyes, Lucky.
Pay me to be your eyes.
No, pay yourself.
That's not
Pay
how it
yourself with my body.
By the way, this is a good time to mention that I didn't put, I'm experimenting, I didn't put the Patreon bumper at the front, but we do have a Patreon, so if you want to send Lucky to Sakura, that actually won't work because we won't get paid until the end of the month, because the date just rolled around. But anyway, so yeah, that's a cool thing. Look out for that. If I remember correctly, some people have joked that Shiokawa's name translates to Salt River, so
Oh, yeah, it does.
that's for... let's talk about Japanese events. That's mostly what we're going to be talking about for news. First of all, there's a new raid-up banner in FGO Japan right now. For the stage, is getting a Blu-ray release. That's the stage play that was based on Camelot.
Did you guys see it?
No.
Did you guys see it?
I have not, actually.
It's awesome.
Well,
Like
if
how
they've got
awesome?
a Blu-ray...
No,
I should probably
I'm
check it out.
actually serious. You need to see it. It is actually awesome. The stage play is
I-
simultaneously one of the most hilarious, but also one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life.
Well, let's just
Because
check
when
out
it gets
then.
intense, it's like, oh my god, it's my favorite characters, but in 3D! And they're moving around, it's so cool, and then there's like musical stuff, and it's like, oh, that's right, this is a stage play.
And it's not like...
And
cheap
Ozzy
Japanese
steals the show.
parodies.
I'm just gonna say this, Ozzy.
Well,
what else
thank
would
you.
he do?
Well, now at your passionate...
At my behest!
Yeah.
Well,
I'm gonna have
luckily
to
it's
go
getting a
look at it
Blu-ray release, so
Oh,
that
yeah.
shouldn't be too hard to track down. God forbid, there's always import.
Oh, and
Uh,
don't worry, it doesn't matter which version of Gudao you like best, they're both represented! Yay!
now.
Eat. I know that's something. The anime, of course, picked the male protagonist, which seems to be a theme.
Hey, at least I can relate. I'm the minority.
Alright, okay.
I actually use Gudao in-game. I don't use Gudako like you tools.
I
What are you
switch.
talking about? I use them.
Yeah! Lucky, virtual high five!
Yeah!
There's some lag on that.
That was 2 high fives for the price of 1. That's what it is.
Alright, so what this gives
It
is
was an-
you get a
it
raid
was
up
an
on your
echo,
Knights
that's
of the
what it
Round
was.
servants, including Lancer, Artoria, and Mordred, and Bedivere, who is a story lock, is also on raid up throughout, so if you want to polish off your NP there on that 3-star boy, go ahead and get that out. There's also
Dude,
a...
I could polish my NP off on Bedivere any day. You just say when.
There's a times 2 friend point bonus on servants of the raid up as well, so you could double friend points. I think if you use them on support, I don't think I've really clarified how that works. I also wrote down in our notes, RIP North America never getting this banner.
Honestly, unless we're missing out on some quartz, I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
I mean-
am too.
It's me, so I'm like, but I'm missing out on more chances to see Mordred. Though God knows,
The
I
only
got her
thing I
already.
care
I'm not
about
sure
is
whether or not
Artoria
I'm gonna
Lancer. But she has
Yeah.
plenty of raid-ups, so...
Yeah.
Because she's Arthur! That's why. So I'm okay. I'm okay.
roll. But yeah, so
I was
that's...
about to talk about her Camelot prosperity. That could be wrong.
No need to remind me.
Behold the body of the Storm King.
Say
Look
hi,
at it.
hi.
Look at it! Okay, we're looking. And then Shiki is like, we have to get out of here. This is not normal. You're gonna
It's
warp
like, no,
my
boobs.
perception of normalness.
It's her prosper.
And her horse.
And she's got a nice horse.
Yeah, it's very nice.
I'd like to ride that horse.
Off into the sunset.
Audience, if you ever hear me stop talking while these guys talk, just imagine me, picture the invisible camera, and then I'm staring straight into it like I'm Jim from the motherfucker.
Don't you forget about me. Don't. That's what we'll be playing in the background. Just married behind us.
Mhm.
I'm not with Lucky. I mean with Artoria Lancer.
If anybody can
Well,
read.
you don't think I'm pretty?
Hey, it's nothing against you. I'm just trying to keep the image intact. Okay.
All right, fine. But we're gonna have a
so
talk.
let's talk about another big news item, which will probably be in the description of this video because it's super clickbaity. Japan's hitting its 12 million downloads campaign. And so, here's a funny story. So last week, we were thinking about having Voice of St. Quartz on, but he was like, but I'm busy editing videos. I believe that was you were wrapping up your Astolfo video, which everybody should watch. It's amazing.
It is amazing. I love it.
And it's
Thank
only
you so
3 minutes. But I thought to myself, that's kind of bad, because if he comes on next week, then we're going to talk about the 12 million campaign, and there'll be a brand new servant.
Yeah!
Foolish mortals, it was a Kiara and Passion Lip gacha all along. Not a brand new servant like everybody expected.
Realist talk, though. Realist talk. I'm okay with that.
Well, I mean,
Like,
Passion Lip is also limited, so there's that.
yeah. Because, like, some people give her some side-eye, but I definitely do want. And Passion Lip's on, like, my top tier, like, already. More chances, the better.
Is there
Besides,
anybody
they
in this
gave
conversation
Kiara-sama a bitchin' strengthening quest.
Yeah, there's that. We're gonna get into that in a second. But also on Raid Up in this event, some of the CCC event CEs are in the gacha, and Suzuka and Amiya Alter are on Raid Up along.
I'm surprised they didn't do Melt as well. I mean, like, why not all three?
I think she
She's already had multiple raid ups.
Yeah, I was about to say,
she
she
has?
was just in some
Okay.
stuff.
Oh, that's why then.
Was she
Okay,
in New
very well.
Year's? I think she was in New Year's when they did like the rolling Raid Up.
Mm.
So it's kind of funny though. It was Kiara.
I'm okay with it.
But people are happy because they're like, maybe they'll put Void and Fujino in a gacha that is not tied to the Karano Kyokai event, because God, that'll be rough if you want to get another shot at rolling Fujino. You've had 2 shots at Void, so you have no excuse. But Fujino is only once. But anyway, we also Kiara is the alter ego strengthening. We listed what classes are getting strengthening quests last time. She's the first in line. Her Clairvoyance Beast has been upgraded now to weaken enemy defense against art cards, aka her NP for 1 turn.
It's exactly what you needed!
Also, I have heard from people who are more knowledgeable about this than me that it really helps if you're using her in arts teams, and why the fuck wouldn't you be? And I will say, her NP is already Pierce Defense, so there's not a whole lot else you can do to it. She already has a Arts Boost as a different skill, I believe. So, this is really great for her. It's only 1 turn, but it meshes well if you're gonna drop some combos. Some
Like,
chains.
my wallet is going to be hurting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, since I know there's gonna be 2 parts, I'm probably only rolling on the first part because I am not swayed by Kiara. I want to roll Melt and Passion Lip.
I am swayed by Kiara and aesthetics, I guess.
They're all worth my quartz.
Yeah,
They're all
they are.
worth my body and my soul.
Well, Lucky does donate blood
It's like,
plasma to
like
get
Melt's,
money
like
sometimes.
Melt's, like I would say, like Passion Lip and Kiara are number 1. So yeah, I'm gonna be
Don't know about that.
because that's how ranking
Though,
works.
God forbid, I'm super fucked if they ever add the remaining 3 Sakura 5, especially Violet, but also Cosmo Drop and King Protea are pretty...
Nobody remembers them.
But they're data mined!
It's kind of hard to remember something. Yes, that doesn't happen.
It's going to happen!
Exactly. Nobody needs to know.
Alright, and then it's obviously it's now because she's already been revealed, but at the time when I wrote these show notes, it was spoiled that Scheherazade would be the caster strengthened because she had the NP upgrade icon filled in. She was the only one that was accidentally spoiled.
Probably because they wanted to reassure us that it would not be Merlin.
There were some jokes going around.
Don't worry, everybody. He's still just as broken as ever. Not anymore. Not any less.
Also, there's going to be login rewards like usual. There's 10 XPs, 10 of both kinds of 3-star foes, 10 silver and gold apples, 10 million quartz points, and 10 summon tickets. So that's a decent amount of summon tickets.
That's pretty solid.
It's a real good event. That's what happens when you hit 12 million downloads. That's a lot of
What did
fucking
we just
downloads.
celebrate with Bryn? What was it, like
For
200,000?
Us was
No, it
2
was
mil.
2 million.
Oh, it was 2 million? Okay.
Yes. By the way, once again, to make this
Alright,
comparison, do you want to know what the Gilgamesh banner was in JP that happened right after the game launched? That was their 3 million. We still haven't hit 3 million.
Yeah, get wrecked us.
And yet, we're making a shitload of money, so I guess the American quality of whales are better.
Honestly, here's how I look at it, just real quick. I look at it as, that's actually pretty impressive that we've reached over 2 million, simply because, considering that, well, it's Japan, they're exposed constantly to all this anime and visual novel goodness that we can only still dream of having over here. For us
Also-
to have even that kind of percentage playing Fate Grand Order is actually pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty top rated. But also, fucking Japan has, like, convenience store collabs.
Exactly.
Like, so,
that kind of nonsense
like,
you would
you
never
say that,
picture
but it was
in
only
America.
one convenience store. So I'm hoping, like, someone, like, talks to a guy who knows a guy at 7-Eleven, and we get that, like, for a while.
7-Eleven.
So during the event, all story quests will be half AP. Part 1 appears to be 1/4 AP. And also all strengthening quests, including Dispatch, are half AP. I feel like we're maybe gearing up for a new story episode. Just maybe.
It's slated for early spring, ain't it?
Well, spring. Not necessarily early. As
Yes.
evidence with
Chapter 1 of Cosmos in the Lost Belt.
I love that title
as
so much.
Delightworks proved with the 12 million downloads campaign, where they said it will launch late February. Sometime before midnight on the 28th is still technically late February. So spring is a big strike zone, guys.
Yeah, I guess it is.
But seriously,
like,
half
I
AP
love
on
it. Like,
story
I'm not
quests,
even. I'm like,
quarter AP on part 1 story
We're,
quests.
oh yeah.
That definitely seems like a sign. Also, as usual, something for a Prism Shop. There's some stuff at Prism Shop. Like if you, and then there's a chance for ×2 or ×3.
Legitimately forget sometimes that great success is a thing.
I had it happen.
Yes, and worst of all, when you get it when you don't need it. Oh man, can you imagine that poor soul who's like, oh yes, great and super success, they're finally up again. Every single one I get is when when I'm at like 59 out of 60 levels, or 89 out of 90 levels.
AKA
Wonderful.
every time.
Yes, I needed this so much. Thank you, Delightworks.
Thanks, buddy.
Our Discord like regularly like takes screenshots and posts that when it happens, and
Yes,
there's
that is a reason why
surprising
you guys
amount
should
of
join our Discord to share your tales of great success. Japan doesn't have that problem anymore. They literally changed the graphics, so it just says maximum level reached. It no longer tells you if you got a great or super success.
them. The rage was too much. Japan could not handle it.
Also, we've
Phones
gotten
were broken.
three
but the
strengthenings have
pain
come out.
feels so good.
3 strengthenings have come out
Quartz
since
confirmed
we
for
started
M.
this event. Mary got strengthened, her NP damage got increased, her healing got increased, and now she does a 20% crit damage buff to the party. Doing some
It's
work.
like playing from like North American side. Like I love Marie. She's my she's pretty solid. Like I still have like Martha and Drake, but Marie's the one sitting at 80, and she's the one going Kira bitches and Lane's with SmackDown with a fucking crystal horse. So I'm happy she's getting a buff. Some people not so much.
Well, it's a bit memey. A lot of these strengthenings are a bit memey.
Yeah. They could have chosen so many riders, and they choose one that nobody uses.
Well, that is kind of
Which
the
is
point.
kind of
Also,
the point, I think.
Yes, but there's
Hi.
such a point as nobody uses them, and thus, what's even the point? Because everybody forgot they even had her. They probably burned her, and they're like, oh, Marie, like Rider Marie.
What I say to anybody who is burned
Yeah, I don't
Marie,
have any more of her.
What the fuck did you do, motherfucker?
No, I like that girl. I loved Orleans, and she is my only actually rolled gold rider. As opposed to the gold rider I got for free and the rider I melted down a couple of holy grails to plate and gold. Just picture me waving gently at Medusa right there.
We're getting Kentucky in like what, a few months?
Yes, well,
yeah, that's
he comes with Onigashima, which is around, I want to say, June, July.
Oh yeah, it is like
probably
it's like
earlier
midsummer. That's
than,
right.
leaning to the early.
Yeah,
because
Rashomon.
we're-
Isn't
we're a
Rashomon like
couple-
Rashomon's before that? That's what it was.
Rashomon is before that. That's what Shuten Doji.
Yeah.
That is also when Lucky's wallet dies.
That will happen in May.
I'm rolling it.
I am rolling so hard. I'm going to roll very vigorously.
I'm
So,
going to
hey,
roll
talking about memes.
in rhythmic motion.
Lots of spinning.
No. See, we're not to the section where we're talking about tabletop gaming yet.
Okay.
I can bust out some dice and roll them. Speaking
Where
of
are my
memes, Scheherazade did get strengthened.
Thick.
It's Black Memeland.
But man,
Where's my thick button? I'm
Merlin
gonna
doesn't
push
have those assets until we get Proto Merlin. Then we'll see. That's going to be an interesting crosswise, because we know Proto Merlin is a girl played by the same voice actress as Artoria. So that'll be real fucking interesting.
Oh god, can she grow a penis?
I mean, it's Merlin, so yes.
Or what's even
good
separating her from regular Merlin?
Good old cock wizard jokes. By the way, if you don't get that joke, just fucking look into the backstory, guys. Anyway,
How do you think Mordred was conceived?
so she
We're on
got an
key a
NP
little too
strengthened.
much. It bothers me.
Her NP base damage has gotten a slight increase, and she now lowers enemy debuff resistance. So with her skills, she can now do significant damage to enemies with the King trait if she has class advantage over them. The only problem is that a lot of these are limited or special in some way. So she's good at her niche. Her niche is very narrow. Like if there's
Like, so narrow, she's considered one of the worst characters in the game.
well, hey, they bumped her to like a 6.5 on the meme list.
No, she's like a 5.5, thank you.
I'm pretty sure I saw a Reddit post that she got upped to like 6, but I won't say that
No,
for
I
sure.
gotta check now.
Oh boy, he's gonna do it live.
Look what you made me do.
But no, like
Checking.
her design is not great. Use her for what she's good at, she'll be good. But the problem is that, hey, gee, if they rerun Saber Wars, she'll be fucking amazing because MHX is right in her wheelhouse. When
I was right, 5.5. Booyah!
Change it. Damn you, Reddit, you lied to me. That's a solid F grade.
Suck.
But anyway, no, like she does, like I said, decent damage if you're in those multipliers because her base is base bonus damage is like 200%, so she does double damage versus king trait enemies. So it could, even for an AOE, it can get up there. It's just, like I said, it's the servants she's best against are like Semiramis and
Artoria!
Yeah, Artoria's MHX, of course, because she is a king. MHX8 counts.
And everybody's favorite douchebag, Gilgamesh.
Yeah, but then you're gonna watch out for your class advantage, though. Is your thing.
Well.
Without class advantage, her damage is still only okay-ish. But now, King is fairly broad trait. We've had this discussion before.
Is
No,
King Hassan a king?
I think so.
Is King Hassan a king?
I think so.
Does he
He
have the
might
trait?
not be.
Grandpa!
Sounds like the dumbest question ever. Is King Hassan a king?
Welcome to traits,
Grandpa!
everybody. But also, here's the other big deal. A lot of the King trait characters are riders.
Son of a bitch, he doesn't have the king trait.
I know, right?
Riot. Revolution.
He is, like, invulnerable to everything. God damn, this man.
He is immune to Scheherazad's charms. Naturally.
Good question.
So moving on from that, hey, everybody's favorite Elizabeth, the Lancer one. That's probably not everybody's favorite Elizabeth. She got a strengthen.
She's my favorite.
I like
Uh,
Elizabeth. Real talk. I do not like her third ascension. What is this fluffiness?
But I love it so much. It's so cute. How can you love it? It's
No,
so-
you know what?
She gets little wild animals to promenade around her cute, adorable giant hat. It's so awesome.
No, you know what's cute? Giant sweater Liz from Extella. That's cute.
Yes, but she doesn't have a giant party hat.
True.
She doesn't need a party hat. Just
She looks like America.
America. Yeah. That's gonna be stuck in my head all day now. Thanks, guys. But no, hey, fun fact for anybody who doesn't know, Liz was my tutorial 4-star, so I'm okay with this. I've been with Liz a long time. Just virtual piggyback. Liz rides on my shoulders and pokes people as I journey through the various singularities. Just remember where your earplugs.
Now I just
But,
have an image of a Liz cannon where you just fling Liz at stuff and she screams a lot.
I mean, that's basically what I'm doing. Just I'm the stage. She just sits on the shoulders, and I'm just like over there, just pointer screams. So if you want to talk about rank jokes, Liz went from E- to E+.
Woo!
Slight damage increase, which is actually fairly decent because her NP already ignores defense, so it's only like an extra 100%, but still, it's pretty good. And now she has a new effect that she reduces enemies' buff success chance by 20%, and I think that's just, even if their buffs would be 100%, they are now like 80%. Somebody reported that they made a Chimera fail to buff its own attack with her NP, which is hilarious. So that's real fucking niche, but hey, more damage, and certainly that's an effect. God knows there are going to be enemies who you're going to be like, please don't buff yourself.
I've had that happen, especially because I'll tell anyone, I hate chimeras with a effing passion because they like to roar and then just throw their crit down on me just every time.
Yes, they're crit monsters.
They really are. So yeah, if I can slow that roll, I'm happy with that.
All right. So that's our news. Let's move into in free talk, our lovely free discussion segment. So this is just in brackets. So I said Prison Tower impressions go here. This will probably be pretty light because we're releasing a video series on doing the Prison Tower missions. Voice is doing a video series on the Prison Tower mission. So hey, just watch our videos if you want to get our like in-depth details. But just in general, we can talk about it.
Lucky's
like,
not doing a
story-wise,
series of videos. He's just kind of floating around screaming at stuff.
AKA.
You could say
Like all the
he's
time.
wailing in the prison tower like a vengeful demon. See, that's why you come to FGO Talk, because you get humor like that every...
And Voice actually listens, so he would know. All right. Just story-wise, what are people's thoughts and feelings?
Well, I'm gonna start this off. Actually, I actually feel like this is a proper, probably like FGO story. Like, this is like some shit that actually would happen. It's just not just some like side story. It's like something that's
it's
reaffirming.
pretty tied in.
Yeah, it's like some shit's going down. Like something's wrong with Master Senpai's soul. It's like everyone's like, "What the fuck?" And Master Senpai's going on like some journey, like to like reaffirm who he is. Like in a prison. I think it's great. I actually want to consider it like actual canon happenings, not like
I'm pretty sure all the events
everything else
are happening. But anyway, we get to meet everybody's favorite edgelord, Edmond Dantes.
Like real talk, I wasn't that keen on throwing down tickets for him because I'm like, whatever. I don't like his character art. But then I saw his character sprite and his attack animations, and I'm like, this is too much. I have to have him.
Yeah, Edmund is real fucking chuny and edgy.
But it's awesome chuny.
No, he's.
That's all. Yes, I needed black lasers being fired everywhere. Holy shit!
Just listen to his laugh. That'll let you know if you want Dantes or not. It's not that laugh. It's like
no, that's fucking laugh.
That's fucking too crazy. There it is.
Yeah,
those guys can do it better.
Get your laugh
off. But yeah, no. He's pretty neat. It's too bad that mechanically some people have some thoughts on how useful he is. Listen here. Let's talk FGO. We advise you to do everything for love, not for gameplay.
Oh, of course.
Because it's great if they're useful. No, it's not a deal breaker.
And he can do some stuff. I mean, will you actually, if you're gonna put your money into Dantes, are you actually gonna put your money into another Avenger? That's
I'm only throwing
definitely
tickets.
a slight niche there. As
well,
lucky you and I have frequently complained about ruler bosses before.
Yeah, we have.
The only problem we have, and this is the dilemma for everyone, is that this is no simple Avenger scuffle, like who to choose, like you mentioned, Omega. It's like, no, this is adjacent to Jalter and her event. To Jeanne d'Arc Alter. We are a month apart from her appearance. No other Avenger has this problem, I can assure you. Every single one is months apart. But this one, you have technically the worst Avenger next to Angra Mainyu, next to the best Avenger, which is Jeanne d'Arc Alter.
You see, what I think is the great thing is again, we're lucky we have like an American version, because when this first happened, I bet people were fucking livid.
Well, maybe. Jeanne Alter is super fucking popular, which is why she's an Avenger class servant. Anyway, she was originally going to be a 4-star welfare ruler they were going to distribute as like a special event thing, but then people were like, oh, shit, they really like this character, we can make this a thing, and steal it.
Well, actually, another interjection, she does say that she is specifically, during the Christmas event, that she is going to go back into Purgatory and train. And she's like, I'll show you motherfuckers how powerful I can become. So it was actually foreshadowed that she would be 5-star awesome sauce.
That's probably when they realized, oh, we're going to make this a thing.
She shows up, like Jeanne Alter, like, actually shows up a few times, like, especially when Saber Alter is involved.
Yeah.
It's, like, almost guaranteed. It's like, this is the best, like, they are the best frenemies, and I love it.
Oh yeah, she can't live that shit down. She's like, I gotta be better.
Yeah.
This girl's Santa. And then,
so like that's like once I get like Jeanne Alter, it's gonna be like they're gonna be paired together always. Just so I can always imagine them bickering during fighting.
Well, not for me because Rip, I don't have a Saber Alter. Thanks for reminding me, Lucky.
Who was the one who kept reminding me about Atalanta?
That's because you did roll Saber Alter.
Consider this. If you don't have Saber Alter, Jeanne Alter will probably come to you even sooner.
Man,
she doesn't have competition.
That's why I joked that Carmilla has never appeared. It's because I rolled Liz in my first roll, and I'm like, yeah, she doesn't want to come here. She really doesn't want to come here. I don't even think I like. I mean, Carmilla's okay, and I think it's interesting to explore Liz's character from basically the other end, chronologically speaking. But no, fuck, I don't like her that much. I don't think it's worth coming here to like have to deal with Liz and Caster Liz, and then eventually Brave Liz.
Oh god.
Because there's a lot of fucking Liz's. Maybe this year they'll stop, because they said this is the end of the Liz trilogy. But who the fuck knows?
Nah.
But yeah,
technically she has 4 versions now.
But I gotta have a full set.
What do you, user Miss Vea at the subreddit? Everybody knows her on site to call her when there's a Liz topic. But anyway, yeah, we got a little off Prison Tower, but The story's fun. Solid Nightingale cameo.
Hey! Shh! She's Mercedes.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks,
She doesn't know
Dantes.
who she is. Shh.
I'm always curious to see how that plays out.
I see Dantes inserting his magical realm here. He's like, oh,
Honestly, I think
this
favorite
woman
part
has
of
no
this-
name? Mercedes. I'm like, sure, buddy.
Yeah,
As
I'll give her
I'm
my
lying
girlfriend's
unconscious in Chaldea with Jean reading me the audiobook version of The Count of Monte Cristo.
No, seriously, I love, that is my favorite part of this entire event. I love the interactions and the chemistry between Edmond Dantes and quote-unquote Mercedes. It is beautiful, especially when he's like, shut up, woman. And I'm just like, oh my god, please bitch at her more, Edmund.
I am super
I think it's what I think it is.
I am
It's literally
extra
like
edgy today.
because you know what because Nightingale was known as the is it Angel of Crimea?
Yeah, something like that.
Gosh.
Yeah, so
Also,
basically
I think it's
she's
pronounced
gonna be the angel on your shoulders while Dantes is the devil while you're in the prison tower.
Yes, all of his wahahas, I am so dark.
Yeah.
Yes, you
that's
must
word.
be evil.
I
you
am the
must fight these
blackness of
people.
your soul.
I will now kill Jean d'Arc. And then Jean is just like, nope. Whoop. He doesn't even get her. She just whoop.
But you
by
know
the
what
way-
the funniest thing is that you bring that up? I think, honestly, of all the art I've seen, because skimming Pixiv is a hobby of connoisseurs such as myself, I think actually everyone's like, I want Jeanne d'Arc Alter to be my girlfriend. No, I think like the best pairing ever is Edmund and Jeanne d'Arc Alter. It's
I mean, it makes
beautiful.
sense because he is
It
like,
makes so much
Jean,
sense. They are
you
so
must be
edgelords.
angry about shit. And she's like, nah, bro, that's not how I work. I'm just thinking, well, it's too bad, Dantes, you don't have a holy grail, and you already kicked the crazy gills out because he could hook you up here. That was his fan fiction.
Also, realist talk, third night, like when like Gills decides to visit you in the middle of the fucking night, I'm like, Gills, you actually do care in your own creepy, crazy kind of way.
Yeah,
I
I
mean-
did not expect that kind of emotional reaction or even emotional range from Gilles de Rais, of all people.
Yeah.
Well, see, it's because he does what he does best, where he's like, "Yo, let the Holy Maiden protect you," and I'm like, "Gotcha, buddy."
That's
he
what I-
says,
like-
having
like,
had Jean stapled to his team literally every quest.
Yeah, it's like,
Though
so
it's-
like I like because I do enjoy those little like servant interactions like after because it's apparently the servants know something is going down, but they're like,
But it's also really funny because Caster Gills is a story lock. I haven't rolled him.
yeah,
Nope.
I actually do have them. Like I guess when I like first started, I must have got them.
Seriously, who would actually want to roll this man? 1, he's a child molester. 2, he is actually in competition with Steno to be the worst servant in the game. I did my research.
This man knows.
Like
He
I
does
don't actually say
research.
like I want to, but I like after watching like Zero. Because I'll tell anyone, like, the most wholesome relationship in that entire show was between him and his master. Even if they're both child murdering fucks.
Him
Which
and
is a-
Renosuke together for
That's
so
that's something that says about
cool!
Zero. That's something that says about Zero. The fact that those two are the ones that have well, I mean, hey, you're
Like, you
selling-
can argue,
you're
like,
selling
Waver and
and
Iskander,
will
but,
short there,
like,
buddy.
I said, that started off bumpy. That was, like, that was
True.
the growing up relationship.
Yeah, they had some kinks to work out.
But, like, two guys who just hit it off from the beginning, had a great time.
You like to murder people, I like to murder people even better. Let's be friends.
and let's
Yeah.
not talk about the relationship between Saber and Kiritsugu.
Oh god.
God, my heart, it hurts.
He spoke to me 3
Oh,
times.
I got a summon ticket. I'm gonna summon right here.
Oh boy, he's doing it on
Gotta
air.
get a seat.
Uh-oh.
Let's see, I'm one ticket.
That's a mistake.
I got Waver
Actually,
doing this
no,
once,
that's not usually how it works. When Lucky summons on air, that's when he first pulled the waiver.
No, I mean I'm here.
Oh, God, no! No, it's too late!
What'd you get?
It was nothing!
I got an elixir of love.
Alright, so it really was
Oh.
nothing. Funnily enough,
Nothing
guess
of
what? I
use.
threw a ticket at this banner, but I got Black Grail, so I ain't even mad.
How do you mad, bro?
Just
Oh, wait,
seriously,
I get another
gotcha.
ticket from.
Gotcha, please, for love of
Let's
God.
see if I can actually complete it before
Give me
this
fucking
show's
formal
over.
craft. Seriously,
Oh,
I really
jeez.
want formal
And
craft.
here I am with like 4 formal crafts.
That's okay. That's my luck with like
I'm so
with
sorry.
other CEs. Like I've gotten like I think I'm at like 3 or 4 Prisma Cosmos.
Oh god.
Yeah,
Dude, I've
and,
maxed limit break the limited 0 over, so.
Yeah, I've got a couple copies of those too. Like, there's some CEs 5 stars that I'm very lucky at, and then as usual, there's like, I have 1 Kaleidoscope. I don't have a Formal Craft. I don't have a Fragments of 2030, stuff like that. I have both Another Side, Another Story, and Victor. But
Oh
anyway,
yeah.
Any other Prison Tower impressions?
The bosses are all over the place.
Yeah, they really are.
Yeah, I will say this.
Yeah,
this event doesn't seem hard per se, but I said this earlier on Discord. I think it's teaching everybody the basics of team comp and how to actually use your servant specialty. Because if you have a servant that is good against these bosses, they can be pretty easy. I've been using Urale for a lot of these like male sabers. Fucking does work. At level 70 with a little arts up or an NP up, she does crazy amounts of damage, and then usually charm locks and attack downs them.
Makes sense.
It's fucking brutal.
Like I actually remember, like,
but
day 1 took me 2 tries to do. Day 2 took me 5 tries. Day 3 took me only 1 try to do. Like, and day 2, it wasn't actually Fergus who was messing me up, although him using Mind's Eye, like, screwed me a couple times. But it was the goddamn White Chimera and its, buffing, critting bullshit.
Oh god, it took you that many tries, you're making me blush.
Fun fact, Fergus never once popped his evade on me.
Yeah, well, and Fergus never popped his MP up on me either. Like, so it was just like, huh.
3, I think I made some dumb decisions. But you'll see those in a video tomorrow. Alright, so I have another Dante-related thought. In case you guys don't know, Haiti, as I've titled here, Dante's second girlfriend, she has an official design, which is very cute. I think it was for a drama CD. So she has like a voice actress and a design and everything. Let's hope she appears sometime in FGO, because it's a real good design. It would be a shame to see it relegated to a drama CD.
I really wish, because someone did the translation for the Gouda Gouda drama CD. I hope some people are other words. I do enjoy the drama CDs. I think they're great to look.
Oh god, she's beautiful. Whoa.
Yeah, no, right? She's so fluffy.
Her up. I'm like,
yeah, no. It's like I said, it's a real good design.
Oh yeah. Again, everything from that book looks great. Have you seen the rest of that book's contents? It's amazing. Oh,
probably not like all at once, but probably seen some.
Yeah, like how they drew the Count himself. Oh my goodness gracious. Alternate costume like that, please. In fact, you know what? Where are my manly alternate costumes?
That's a very good.
That is a good question.
Which, the irony is, as I'm writing my Edmund video, I realized I'm like, okay, there's been all this waifu baiting in the game so far, in the JP server. And yet, the top 3 characters, no joke, right now, as of this podcast, are Merlin, Waver, Gilgamesh. All men. And I'm like, there's a very weird disconnect between who's actually good in the game and what DW seems to think we want.
Well, with Waver, I can give a wave, because you can literally change between his adult form and his child form, and that's kind of an alternate costume right there.
Oh, yeah.
But Merlin and Gilgamesh, Gilgamesh casual outfit, that'd be cool.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, his pants and black jacket.
Yep.
Oh god, I just had a thought.
Oh god,
Merlin will not get a prototype version. You know how they're adding new voice lines to some of the costumes, right?
Oh god, they'll
what
just make
Merlin's costume is female Merlin with Saber's voice?
That'd be hilarious.
No,
I think some
no,
people
no.
would be upset
blew
though,
our
because
audience's minds.
No. We need a magical Mari. Because I did spoil myself on that.
yes.
Merlin is basically, when he's trapped in Avalon, is literally the one dating the magical Mari pod with the doctor's infatuation.
Spoilers!
Yeah, so that is a
major
spoiler, but
spoilers
yes,
right
Merlin shitposts from Avalon.
Yes, he does. He's got nothing else to do. He has nothing else to do. That is actually what the point of his prison is. He's just trapped there.
He's just stuck in Avalon.
He needs a magical Mari costume so we can finally know who the fuck this is.
Alright, so here's the fun fact. We are now at almost an hour already. And we're about to launch into our main topic.
Like, what were you expecting?
No, I mean, I expected this. I knew this when it took us 10 minutes to get to the introduction. So we're gonna jump in. But for the sake of sanity of mine and others, I'm going to actually pause the recording for a second so everybody can get up and walk around, because we're going to do our alignments talk, and I'm sure that will take a long time. So if this video's super fucking long,
it's time for a super podcast! Yay!
I'm sorry, but so you guys won't know anything, but I'm literally going to pause the recording right now, and then we'll come back to you.
I'm trying to talk and art at the same time. It is a very hard task. I'm not good at that.
I'm glad I unpaused the recording for that. Hey, we're back. While we were gone and you weren't, these two guys were discussing the finer points of Nightingale, and Lucky was lamenting that he's bad at art.
I am bad at art. Doesn't mean I don't try.
He tries. I stick to thumbnails.
Because the first step at getting good at something is sucking at it.
Hi, welcome to however many episodes of our show you watched before you felt we got good.
That's so true.
However many it took. All right, so let's talk about alignments. I'll preface this. So this came up because we talked a little about some character alignments, and we've joked before about how Lucky is of the devil because all of his preferred waifus are evil in some capacity.
I've come to accept this.
But it also came up because we mentioned it a couple times, and then obviously Voice of Saintcorns left a very long comment on our episode talking about just extrapolating some stuff about, like, say, Fujino's alignment. And I thought to myself, gee, this makes a really good opportunity. We should talk about alignments in a more serious aspect because some people might not really get them. And quite frankly, there are times when I'm not sure I get them. But,
Gilgamesh!
Well, we'll get into that. We're going to have some classic question mark alignment questions, I think, to broaden the discussion topic. But hey, funny story, right after I thought that, I jumped into Voice of Saintcorns' stream where he was running the Karno Kyokai event and talking about Fujino being released, and I landed smack dab in the middle of him in a discussion about alignments. I think I even said in the chat, wow, I just jumped in this video to shitpost about alignments, but I found out you're doing it already.
I beat you to it!
And then you said, hey, if you guys want me to come on the show anytime to talk about alignments, I'd love to. And I was like, yes, good. So I postponed the alignments topic just for this purpose, because you clearly have thoughts. I think I have some thoughts. Lucky has thoughts too, but as usual, he's going to try and string them together so they make sense to him. So let me try to explain the source, the structure of alignments a little. For those of you who are not familiar with the Dragons, because I don't remember exactly what prompted Gary Gygax to feel the need for an alignment system, but it's pretty simple. It's a way to mechanically and concretely measure your character's moral and axiomatic axis, direct purposes of whatever you want in the game. Typically, especially with modern D&D, it's tied to certain, like, mechanical keywords, like certain spells only proc on evil or good or lawful targets, or it's also a class restriction, like paladins can only be lawful good, barbarians can only be chaotic, etc. Some clerics have to be within one alignment step of their god. There's a lot of additions to D&D. It gets a little muddy sometimes. So that's the source. And in case you couldn't tell, yes, Natsu is a huge nerd who plays D&D, probably. I'm pretty sure explicitly does. Yeah, so nerds in Japan also play tabletop games, and that's clearly where he stole this from. So to explain this, there's an axiomatic grid and then a moral grid, and it forms like a 9 square, which people love to turn into memes. Some of which are funny, some of which are just accurate, and some of which are terrible, like everything. So you've got your lawful versus your chaotic axis. That's axiomatic. Generally, the classic definition is lawful is more about order and structure, and generally tends to be more defined. Depending on what your moral alignment is, lawful can be good or bad, but it's just more about having a system of beliefs or approaches or rules which govern your behavior and even govern the universe, because guess what? Planes can be lawful or lawful good too. And then there's a neutral step, which is between the two, and then there's chaotic. Chaotic is more free. It's more about, I would say, it's less about rigid structure and more about instinct, intuition, acting as you would, not necessarily having to stop for procedures, rules, or anything like that. It's the opposite end of lawful, so it's all about whatever lawful isn't, and obviously that can be. And then the moral axis is good versus evil, and in D&D, the middle section is neutral, but because that would get confusing for master missions, North America has choose to translate it as balanced now, so that you can actually tell the difference when a master mission comes up. And in Japanese, they are actually written slightly differently, if I remember correctly. The characters between neutral versus law and chaotic and good as evil is slightly different. So, what's good and what's evil? That kind of depends on what your setting is, but in general, good is people who tend to be selfless, helpful, positive forces. They help others before themselves. Usually they are out to help people, to do good, to defeat evil. Where wrongness would occur, they fight against it. Evil tends to be more selfish, more destructive even in some alignments. They are focused on acting in their own best interests, often in what we would call in our real life antisocial or destructive ways, and just depending on who's playing them, generally being an asshole. Do you guys think that that's a good, rough, high-level assessment of alignments?
Yeah. I am gonna say it's like, and for alignments, just because someone has a certain alignment doesn't necessarily mean they're going to act in a planned way. Like, a chaotic evil character is not going to go around just destroying towns because they can. They can definitely be more pragmatic about it.
Yeah,
and are usually, a little bit more scary.
If you're not familiar with tabletop memes, there's some classic jokes in the tabletop community that most people learn, stuff like lawful stupid or chaotic stupid, where role players take their alignments a little too literally and thus, oh, I'm playing a lawful good paladin and I must follow all rules. Did you lie to that man? Off with your head. Chaotic.
Not chaotic evil.
Stupid.
Chaotic neutral is probably like one of the most hated alignments in tabletop.
Because
it's like
most people read it as a little random. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
I was just about to say, yes, chaotic is the worst. It's absolutely worst for that reason.
Because people misinterpret it as I'm allowed to
basically
do whatever the fuck I want to fuck things up because this is my alignment.
Like, a lawful evil character can totally be, like, a great politician helping people, but he's literally doing it to further his own personal agenda, and that stuff is just literally a side benefit to other people.
Yeah, the classic example of lawful evil is the Empire from Star Wars. They are very lawful. They have laws, they have rules, they have structure, which even protects and helps some people, but they're doing it to further their leadership's own evil ends, and to further those ends, they'll do some pretty fucked up shit, like blow up a planet.
Yeah.
I know lots of people like the Empires. Meanwhile, another classic example, I'm pretty sure it's his literal alignment in game, but in general, the story of Robin Hood is a classic chaotic good example. He steals, he breaks the law to steal from rich people to give to the needy. Yes, to do good in the world. So that's kind of the framework. So there are alignments in Fate Grand Order and in Fate. It goes all the way back to the very earliest days of the visual novel, where characters had little stat sheets with little rank icons, and they had alignments. And when we go that far back, we immediately begin raising questions of what the fuck does Nasu mean when he writes an alignment down. Let's start with the example Lucky brought up earlier. Let's talk about Gilgamesh.
I have a theory.
The classic example of why does Gilgamesh have chaotic good as an alignment?
You just want to jump right into the heavy.
Let's go there. This is the classic. I think this is the defining alignment question of the franchise, because anybody who has been there for a while and is familiar with the system is like, but why Gilgamesh chaotic good though? Because let's be honest.
Alright, here's my theory. You want to know what my theory is?
He's not really a quote-unquote good person in Fate Stay Night.
This is delving deep into my beliefs of what Nasu is trying to convey.
Go for it, because that's also what I'm probably going to talk about, is how I think this is supposed to work.
So let's consider a few things. One, this is Gilgamesh in his, obviously his prime, but he has two primes according to FGO. He has his younger self and his older self, and his older self is major spoilers.
And we get a spoiler warning.
I think
his younger self.
The shortest way to say that is the younger Gilgamesh is somewhere in the middle of his epic, whereas the older Gilgamesh is after all that stuff, which is very important because there is a fuck ton of character development in the Epic of Gilgamesh.
Right. And so that would explain the chaotic nature, in that he's much younger. He's not as wise. He's not the wise king that he is destined to become yet. And he's a hero. He is a hero in the Epic of Gilgamesh. He is considered a good guy in the Epic of Gilgamesh, at least to the world at large. So he's chaotic because he's in his younger years. He's that more warring period of his life.
And he's
considered a good guy.
He explicitly flips the bird to the gods a couple of times in the story.
Well, so yes, that is why I think chaotic good. I think it actually makes perfect sense, even though he is a giant almighty douchebag.
Yeah.
Well, that actually goes along with what I think, because I don't think the alignments are necessarily personalities, except it's actually what their stories are based upon. Because like I said, prime example, Epic of Gilgamesh. Like he was a good guy in there, but he was still kind of a douche. He literally kind of did what he wanted.
Okay, so if anybody doesn't know, the story of the Epic of Gilgamesh literally starts. Gilgamesh is using the prima nocta. He's fucking everybody's wives before they get married in Uruk, constantly. Yeah. So that the people literally pray to the gods and be like, "Oh my god, gods, please give our king Gilgamesh a fucking hobby." And they say,
Enkidu.
So that's how that works out.
Best friends forever.
They give him an epic bromance, So he will have something better to do this time.
With a clay doll.
The original bromance.
Yes.
Because the Epic of Gilgamesh...
Well,
is
technically it's not a bromance because Enkidu doesn't have a gender.
Well, yeah.
I still call him bro.
Our Enkidu doesn't have a gender. I'm pretty sure that some art associated with the tablets of the Epic of Gilgamesh, they were both big, burly, manly dudes with huge beards. But,
yeah.
Fate.
But...
Arcane
And
Reaper is a
so
girl.
basically we're basing on
Except
that,
he's
like,
not.
because he did like do a lot of good stuff. He just kind of did it in his own douchebag dick way.
Yeah.
And then that basically just transfers over because I'm pretty sure Gilgamesh, even in facing that, is like, I'm doing a good thing.
He thinks he's doing
Like,
something good.
This Grail, fuck it.
He
thing's
thinks that's gonna help humanity. I think we can assume
He does. He genuinely thinks it does.
He does. That is true. He genuinely thinks he is doing a good thing. And ironically, he's
Yeah.
kind of right, because think about this. This is going to be spoilers for, like, Zero and stuff. But Gilgamesh's plan is to use the Grail Mud to basically kill most of the world's population, and the remainders will be really fucking strong. Hey, who is the one survivor of the Fuyuki disaster? It's fucking Shiro.
Oh god.
Who is actually kind of a badass. Like, he's very limited, but there is a moment where he can stand toe-to-toe with Gilgamesh in a very specific circumstance.
And that
So-
circumstance does arrive, and it is greatly animated. Who does not love it?
It's one of the best fight scenes in anime history if you haven't seen it.
Oh my god, yes. Watch Unlimited Blade Works. It's there are some questions to be said about whether or not it's a great story adaptation. There is nothing to be said about whether or not it is a good animation.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, no. So
I just love
Gilgamesh
the
is
fight because it's
right.
not just a shonen fight or something like that. It's you can even just watch it and see all the little character moments that happen throughout.
Well, and also there is a
There's so
there
much
is a
depth to just that fight.
great fucking monologue before that where Shiro explains himself once more, which he does several times, but this is just like he talks about, hey, this is my reality, this is my inner world, and this is how it works. And then you're like, oh right, this is Emiya Shiro. And he has some great fucking one-liners. Nothing says that a fake can't beat an original.
Another thing I'd like to bring up to signify that Gilgamesh is kind of okay, a little teensy bit, is that when he's talking to Iskandar in Fate Zero, and Iskandar is like, hey, why didn't you join my side? He's like, I have only ever had one friend. And I'm just like, the fact that he refers to somebody even now as a friend,
Yes, he's
he's got to have some kind of a soul.
He has
well, no, I'm
he
gonna
has
go. I'm
exactly
gonna go
one
even
friendship.
further with that. When Gilgamesh left Waver on the bridge because he was because in respect to like his service to Iskander, I'm all like,
Well, yeah, he asked
Gilgamesh,
Waver a
you got some
question.
heart there.
So you were his vassal. Doesn't that mean you should avenge him? And then Waver is like, I would love to try, but he told me to stay alive, so I have to listen. Gilgamesh is like, good work, kid. I'm gonna go have an awkward conversation with Saber now.
Like honestly, like I like Gilgamesh in Zero a lot more than in.
Well,
And,
arguably, while
Fate
Gilgamesh
Stay
says he wasn't corrupted by the Grail, it is before he was bathed in Grail mud. So
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
kind of a mud man himself in Fate Unlimited Blade Work, so
yeah,
Yeah, but like the scene where the three kings sit together and discuss shit. It's like you get like a lot better character feel for him, and you do
Though,
feel like he
sadly,
is a good
the one
person.
thing
But
that-
like he's an arrogant asshole, but yeah, he feels like a human being.
yeah,
Also,
Can
I will
get
say
this
there is
guy, you know.
the one unfortunate thing about Zero is that Urobuchi does not like or necessarily understand or just can't write around Saber's outlook on the world, so it's real rough to her. Poor girl.
yeah, it is.
It's real fucking brutal.
But
Like, it does
again, back on
thoroughly
the topic
explain
of
why she is
Oh,
who she is.
and
at
speaking
Fate.
of alignments, guess who is the paragon of lawful good in the Fate universe? Yeah, you guessed it, it's Artoria! Ding, 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 ding,
Yep.
ding.
who does kind of play a little awful stupid at times.
Oh yeah, but that's because she's lawful good. She's lawful
Yeah.
stupid.
she that's when people say lawful stupid, they're talking about lawful good, especially paladins, which perfectly
Is
fits.
exactly what she is!
She is
She is
the
a
king of
paladin
knights,
through
a
and through.
holy knight who kills dragons and giants and all kinds of shit, slays an army with a single stroke. But boy howdy,
doesn't
she has a
understand
very
the hearts
rigid
of
system of honor and morality, and she's sticking with it even if it completely dicks her over a couple times in life. And
Yeah,
dicked over some other
who was
people.
this? Was it Bedivere? I can't pronounce it.
No,
Bedivere.
Bedivere's her bro.
Bedivere,
It was
he's-
Tristan who admonished her.
Oh, Tristan. That's what.
Tristan
it was.
said, "The king of
Like,
knights
does
is
not
not a
understand-
human."
Yeah, does not understand the hearts of.
Which
That's
is
kinda-
very
she's
true.
especially
It's true.
not human when she gets taken over by her own weapons. But I digress.
Yeah, that's a whole different story. That's an extra lawful good. Also,
That is so
a very
lawful
interesting
good.
question.
It's like, I'm just gonna make the planet a glass crater because I have to eliminate all sin.
I
That
have
is
become the
spoilers for
god
Camelot,
of
by
lawful
the way.
and good, therefore...
I am lawful good, therefore I am right. Boom!
But here's
That
another
is
fun
the
talking about
epitome of
alignments,
lawful.
which you might not realize. Some people might not get this. Lancer Alter and Lancer Artoria are both lawful good,
Yes, they are.
Yes.
which actually
But they
makes
are
sense
two
in-
very different kinds
Yes.
of lawful good in very subtle ways, but they are very different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is hard to tell.
Like this goes
because
back to
you
his head.
only
It's like
get,
there's
Lancer
different ways to
Alters
play
as well.
lawful good.
You only get, I think, the best of Lancer Alter's character in the Karno Kyokai event, oddly enough, because she doesn't fucking talk.
Oh, yeah.
She is an excuse to show off what Mordred can do.
I guess I don't know if we care about Camelot spoilers. Care about
I
Camelot?
kind of do. I kind of do.
But Lucky
Okay.
also forgets them.
Because
so
I'm
you
like,
can
the
talk
problem
around
is if
them.
I have to go explaining regular Lancer Alter, or not Lancer Alter, regular Lancer Artoria, that does go into spoilers because there's a reason she has the green eye. I just want to.
But no, like we can talk about Lancer
totally
Alter, how she talks about how she is the quote unquote Storm King. She is good. She is not cruel. The only way you can turn her into a tyrant is to curse her, i.e., Saber Alter.
Yeah.
Fun fact how that works. The only
Or,
way
well,
Artoria
Lancer.
can be evil is if an outside force makes her evil. So even in her pragmatic form as a pseudo ghost lady person in the Wild Hunt, she's still good.
Well,
really
are you
interesting.
wait? Are you talking about Saber Alter or Lancer?
No, I mean Lancer Alter. I said the only way
I
you
was
can
gonna
actually
say
make.
Saber Alter is a whole other bag of
Well, yeah,
worms.
that's what I mean though. Like the only reason you can make Artoria evil is to literally curse her, i.e., Saber Alter.
But here's the thing: that's a path where she specifically chose to be taken in by the mud of the Grail to keep her humanity, because the Rongo Midiad sucks out your soul
Yes, it makes you
and
not
makes
a
you
human.
a god.
It is a divine instrument. Also, it's not really a lance; it's actually a giant pillar. Lots of other stuff.
Yes.
We'll get into that later, I'm sure, in the story. But
Camelot
fun
pregame.
fact,
Camelot,
Saber-
yeah, exactly. Camelot
Saber is
pregame.
ludicrously broken, which is why it's so funny that the original OG Artoria is a kind of a mediocre servant, because she's, as a character, she's real fucking broken. Like,
Oh yeah.
literally everything she has is a legendary peerless item. Excalibur is the crystallized image of humanity of a sword that saves the day.
Mhm.
It is the collective unconsciousness's idea of what the sword of victory is, the sword that wins.
And then there's the Rongo Midiad, which is one of my favorite and noble phantasms. Not even like game-wise, noble phantasms in the lore, which is literally connecting the planet.
Right.
That's what's described.
It
as.
holds the world and the reverse side where all the magic and shit is separate.
Yes.
And if you removed it, they would no longer be separate, and shit would get real fucked up.
Yeah. That's why I told people in my stream, I'm like, that's why it's a big fucking deal when the whole time, like this is a little bit of spoilers, but I mean, you figure Lancer Artoria, she's got to do it sometime. She's got to fire off a beam and say literally the latter half of the story is everyone peeing their pants when she's like, I'm gonna do it, guys. I'm gonna fire off the Rongo Midiad. You don't want me to fire off the Rongo Midiad. And everyone's like, please don't fire off the Rongo Midiad. Please don't do it.
Yeah,
It's like, I'm gonna fucking do it.
Ron is normally sealed, like Excalibur, but you
It's got
start
13
unlocking some
goddamn
locks.
seals on it.
You start unlocking those locks, it's real bad. It's real bad.
So
Excalibur is
now
also
I'm just waiting.
scary.
I'm just waiting for the Arturia servant where she's an assassin and she gets the dagger Carwin.
Yeah, her dagger when she can be.
Yeah.
Yes, she
Because,
actually kills a mage with it.
King Arthur is really fucking broken, historically speaking.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh my god. Has there been an assassin?
Not officially.
There
but
has
there
unless you
is-
don't count it.
MHX counts, kind of, but there's not an official Artoria.
Yeah.
So the question
And
is...
she doesn't
is-
even want to be an assassin. Oh.
No.
I know. It's like we dropped the ball. The light works. Drop the ball.
But no, like Ryder Mordred with her surfboard Prydwen, which is King Arthur's shield that might also be a boat. And thus they turned it into a surfboard. And I love the joke that Mordred just steals things. Oh yeah, I stole your claret, and also I stole your boat shield. Thanks, Dad. Though if you want to talk about how alignment does not guarantee action, Artoria is lawful good. She's a terrible fucking parent.
Yeah.
Like, we can argue if is Morgan actually a terrible parent, because all of her kids kind of turned out okay, except for Mordred, and that's partially because of her her engineered insecurities were actually triggered by Artoria.
Yep.
But Gawain's pretty alright.
The knife is the Karn Winnin.
Car winning, that's what it is.
The knife is.
But,
That's his third legendary item.
We haven't actually seen Gareth yet, but she, and yes, that's another Nasu classic flip. She's supposed to be real fucking pure and good. Nobody remembers Kaharis. But no, so that's another fun one. So we've talked a little bit good. Let's talk about evil, because that's always
let's talk about
fucking
evil.
question.
These are the best. Oh, how to get your fans in a tizzy. I was going to call them husbandos, but, how to get your fans in a tizzy 101. Tell them that their waifu is actually evil.
See, I tried this with Lucky. He was like, no big. Because,
Yeah, I was
hey,
like, no
guess
big.
what? Here's a fun fact. Tamamo's neutral evil, in case you didn't know.
Oh,
like-
yes.
Okay,
And
so
she really fucking is neutral evil. I've only actually played Extella, but, oh boy.
She's a bitch!
yeah, but you
like-
know what? She's a bitch to anyone against her plans. To people she likes, she is.
Well, yeah,
super
that's
good.
perfect
She is
neutral evil.
A-okay.
My favorite example of neutral evil is if you've played Dragon Age. In the first one, Morrigan is neutral evil. She is self-centered. She doesn't want to be selfless at all. She wants you to focus on her, the strong should dominate the weak mentality. She gets upset if you offer help or give up any resource that you could keep for yourself. And she doesn't understand, like, kindness or anything. She's a perfect example of Tamamo's kind of the same way. She is out for Tamamo, and she just wants to live her lovely wife life. But if you get in her fucking way, she'll wreck your shit.
And I honestly
because she
see
is one of the
nothing
great
wrong with
disasters
that.
of Japan.
And on top of that, that's just a personality perspective. I actually have a logistical explanation for why in Nasuverse she'd be labeled. You see, in her life, she was basically out for herself, whether you consider her fox spirit self or her most recognizable incarnation, Tamamo no Mai. Either way, she is. I don't want to say like selfish, but she is only really concerned with her own well-being in history.
I mean, she did use the Emperor to get close and get all the nice goodies from
Yes,
Well,
but
I mean,
she's
there's some deeper layers as to why Tamamo is a thing, because Tamamo is an aspect of, but that's another spin layer.
yes, but she's evil or considered evil because in history, not only is the fox spirit a total ass to everyone around her, but then when she possesses this girl, who would later become Tamamo no Mai, she goes off, gets the fox ears, everybody's like, holy shit, you made the Emperor sick! Get her! And she goes and kills literally hundreds and hundreds of people with her power before becoming a stone that poisons you.
Yeah, that's right. Her body became a killing stone, which killed shitloads of people after she was already dead.
Yes, she
Yeah,
killed
it was her
shitloads of
car.
people when she was alive, and she killed people after she died.
And
Yeah, but that's only because, well,
Right.
I really want to point out, that's only because one of the guys, like, I don't think it's ever been actually clarified that she was actually the one poisoning the Emperor.
no, but
It's just a
she
guy.
Was,
Oh, no,
she
no, no, no.
happened to
Yeah,
be-
she was just accused of it. That
She
is
was just
true.
She just happened to be a
And-
kitsune standing next to the Emperor when Abe no Seimei was like, yo, you a foxy lady. And then she was like, shit.
Yeah,
No,
who
no,
would
what
not be
happened is, no,
suspicious of
Abe no
the-
Senmei tricked, I wouldn't even say tricked Tamamo into revealing her fox form, because they said she was going to do a ritual to try and heal the Emperor, and Tamamo went to try and heal the Emperor with this ritual.
Oh, yeah. But here's
So-
the thing. She's the one magic person in the...
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the Emperor just had fucking syphilis and was dying.
Rip. But no, and let's hope we get Amado Senmei sometime, because I really want to meet what Fate's idea of Japanese Merlin is.
Yeah, really.
Because
So
that's what
like,
Abe no Seimei
I'm
is.
I'm more convinced that she's not neutral evil. Yeah, she was selfish, but then she was wrong and got pissed off and then took it out on everyone.
But here's the thing also. Before that, though, the spirit which possessed people in, like, countries like India and China was actually evil. Like,
Yes.
it did terrible, nasty, tricky things to people.
Yeah, but in Japan, the Foxkin is also
But
also
here's
seen
the
as
thing.
a helpful guide and a trickster
It
as
can be,
well.
but also
Oh,
remember,
yeah. I
So
don't
it's
disagree
like-
with that.
the way
I'm
that
just
the
saying
mythology
this
works.
particular fox was an ass.
Yeah.
Nasuverse
So it's like,
rules
it's
tend
all up
to
to your
do the
interpretation.
the classic Japanese thing where they conflate Chinese to Indian to Hindu, basically, mythology. So Tamamo is also is probably the Daji and other fox spirits who are not nice people. Probably.
Yeah, like
maybe.
I believe it's I think it's actually in her bio. It's like who might also be like the Millennium Fox from China, which is like
also,
a great
let's not mince
golden
words.
fox. that
Tamamo
runs
is
shit.
also an aspect of Amaterasu, the chief Shinto goddess of the sun.
Yeah.
Amaterasu and Tamamo are not necessarily the actual same person, but Tamamo is... I should say this. Amaterasu is not just Tamamo, but Tamamo is a piece of Amaterasu.
But to seal the deal on the whole evil thing, I looked at the bio now. It says in her bond level 1, origin, Japanese mythology, one of the 3 great demons. So now we know what Japan thinks of her.
Yeah.
And that's
by
why
the way,
I think she's labeled as lawful evil. It's what the people see her as, not what
That's
she
true.
did
There
or
is
not.
certainly a history thing, but at the same time, Nasuverse does cut to the truth sometimes. Nier was also chaotic good.
That makes a lot of sense.
Which is
Actually, that makes a lot of sense. Like,
yeah, which is arguable because we don't have any good... I've had this argument before. We don't have any good sources that Nier was actually really a shitty person. Most of them were later Roman sources after Nier was deposed, so thus they went, oh yeah, Nier was real bad. The best we... The best
there was totally a legit reason why we got rid of him.
The best
Totally.
I can figure out from what people have sourced to me is that the upper crust of Rome was upset with Nero because Nero was a populist, with her character in Fate, but she did lots of public works and public performances, which involved tax hikes for the rich, and there were concerns with the traditionalists that Nero was not dignifying the role of emperor properly. And obviously, if you want to get all Fate on this, you could argue the fact that she has giant tits. Possibly also.
Yeah.
Roma
Also
prosperity.
They may also. Also, I think it's slightly lazy, but Nasuverse also canonically, Agrippina was poisoning Nero, but also giving her the antidote, so after Nero just killed Agrippina, she went a little crazy. That's what migraine is. Yeah.
So
No, that tanking
I'm gonna
skill
bring
you
up
use?
another point for lawful evil waifu in Atalante.
You mean neutral evil.
Yeah, Italy is
Is she?
neutral.
Oh, she's neutral evil. That's right.
Do not start talking smack about my lawful evil wife, because we'll get to that.
No, like no, because Atalante, like you look at her, you don't think she's an evil person, and she's really not. Because let's see here, there's remains to be 3 big stories which she's involved. One is the Argonauts.
Yeah,
2
she's a member of
is
the Argonautai.
Yep. 2 is I can never pronounce it, but the freaking boar hunt, where she was literally used as a
The
tool to get the
Caledonian boar
most like ridiculous revenge scheme like I have ever seen a goddess do.
Let's ask a good question.
Kind of crazy.
What the fuck is Artemis's alignment in game?
Oh, it's chaotic neutral.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's a real easy one there.
Yeah. And her third is the actually I don't know what they
apples,
call
right?
it, but basically her race.
Yeah.
Her with the golden apples. And I think her evil alignment comes from the golden apples.
Yeah, or she'll cut off your head if you lose the race.
Yeah, so
Yeah, but you know what?
basically-
The only reason you're in that race is because you're trying to marry a girl
marry
who's
her,
taking a
yeah.
vow of chastity.
Yes,
Mhm.
you're trying to marry her, and she has sworn to Artemis that she will not marry. And in fact, she was turned into a lioness for marrying.
Yeah,
Because Artemis
which is why
a
she has
huge
cat
bitch,
ears and
guys.
tails.
Artemis is a huge bitch. Why is
Like,
Caligula
so she wasn't
fucked
just
up?
going around murdering people. No, she's like, no, just leave me alone, please. And they're like, guys are literally like, no, marry me. And she's like, okay, if you can beat me in a race, but if you
Well,
lose,
to
you
be
die.
fair, she has a lot of likable.
But no, like if you guys, you wonder why Caligula's fucked up canonically? Artemis, that's his NP.
Yep. Moon.
It's all her fault.
Yeah.
Artemis is real bad news. Poor Orion.
Then again, gods suck in general.
Yeah, they're
Like,
kind
whether
of,
Nasuverse, whether real life, you read any of these. Like, here's the thing. You want to know why Medusa is chaotic good? Yeah, Medusa's chaotic good, even though, like, Gorgon is, like, fucking evil.
Well, Gorgon's
It's
an
because-
Avenger, and all Avengers
fucking-
have been chaotic evil.
Oh, yeah, but here's the thing. There's a reason why she's chaotic good, though, and I actually found this out the other day. I was like, oh my god, this is horrible. Is that, she was actually, like, she and the other, Gorgons were treated actually, like, super well. Like, they were, like, taught how to read and write and everything. They were considered high society and stuff like that. And then Poseidon one day was like, hey, I want that bitch. And he rapes her,
Yeah.
and Athena, being jealous, is like, fuck you, bitch! And turns
Well, also,
her, like, hair
depending
into snakes and everything.
because
well, to be
Greek mythology is
exact,
very complex. In some
rapes her
interpretations,
in Athena's temple.
yes, which
That's what
Athena is
happens.
like, oh boy, that's a huge affront. But guess what? Gods before non-god hoes, Athena can't punish Poseidon, so she punishes Medusa.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
I don't
much.
know if that's canonically what happened
Yeah,
in
and
Fate, but Though you might wonder because her noble phantasm is still the Pegasus.
Yeah.
Which is besides
Which only appears when who was it? Was it Percy? Yeah, Perseus
cuts off her head. Yeah.
Perseus is gonna be real interesting when he shows up because he's been data mined. Because there's some thoughts to be had there. Though one thing you should remember, the one that Perseus kills is not technically Medusa, it's Gorgon.
Yeah.
Yes.
He only kills her after she has gone off the deep end into Avenger territory.
Right. But still
and
wifeable.
That happens because she basically like the sisters basically went to go hide on the Shapeless Island, and people are all like, "Oh, we must go destroy these monsters." And so they're literally defending themselves.
We must go steal these perfect goddesses.
Yeah.
The other thing.
In fact, I think Gorgon's bio is even like she's on like the edge of just giving up on humanity. And in fact, her noble phantasm as Gorgon has to do with that, where just like liquefies everyone in the area.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again,
because she just gives fucking up on any sort of humanity she might have, or you know,
she
humanity
keys
around
into her real demonic powers because that's one of her abilities is the fact that she is not a person or a goddess anymore. She has become a demon. It's one of her buffs. So she goes nuts. Medusa's chaotic good though, so that's okay.
Yeah, it's
Medusa's actually a good person.
Yeah, it's like a lot of these are like a lot of these things are just like they just have shitty circumstances, especially when a god's involved.
Although her sisters are just bitches, so like they're bitches to everyone. Like Urale in FGO is just like the whole time. It's in her bio. She's like, "Oh yeah, I cannot wait to see you in pain and agony," and she clearly has a front the whole time. Steno, similar thing. I'm just like, and they're always torturing poor Medusa, and it's just like, how are you good? Medusa, I believe. You?
I mean, I think we'll get into that because I think at some point we have to talk about the difference between Ishtar and Ereshkigal. That is a hotbed alignment topic.
Yes.
But I think this actually plays into something I want to talk about in alignments, about what I think the goal of alignments is here. So we talked about this a little. Like, why is Gilgamesh good? Because he's a hero. He's technically a positive force in his own story. As you might, and we say chaotic because he's not a stable, orderly person yet. He is a force of change, a force of disruption. He ignores divine authority and all that stuff. That's a very important aspect of his character and fate, is that as he is that Gilgamesh, as Archer Gilgamesh, he gives the finger to the gods regularly, which is kind of a big deal. But
that's how one of his tips with Ishtar is.
And a counterpoint, your buddy Sasaki Kojiro, he's neutral evil too. But he says in his bio, anyone who kills is evil. Thus, he kills people, so he's evil. But he's an antagonist in the stories of Miyamoto Musashi. He's a rival.
Yes,
a heroic
her
character,
rival.
Which is that's a fun thing we're gonna get in a couple years. But anyway, I think kind of what the point, at least in terms of FGO, I don't know if that's how it started with the writing originally. I think kind of the point about like lawful and chaotic and then good versus evil is it's a little bit about their morality. It's a lot about, like I said, their legend and how the servant views themselves like retroactively. Because like I said, Sasaki says people who kill are evil, so naturally his alignment is evil. A lot of the Hassan have evil alignments because they kill.
They're
people
all lawful evil.
Yes, they kill people for a living. That is their job. So I think...
But they live by a code.
Exactly.
That's why I love lawful evil so much.
Good versus evil, I think, has to do with, like I said, like that selfish versus selfless actions. And also, I think it has to do with how they interact with humanity. Because obviously in FGO, humanity is kind of a big deal. If you...
No, Media is neutral evil.
If you straight up kill people...
Well, I mean, regular Media is... Media Lily is good. Which actually makes perfect sense.
No,
there's one's a pre-Jason, one's post-Jason.
Yeah, or she's
what is the Witch of Betrayal?
Jason?
Yeah, what is the Witch of Betrayal whose legend is literally defined by the fact that she had the greatest revenge dunk on Jason ever? And in some versions, she literally jumped in her sun chariot and rode away, presumably flipping him two giant birds as she left.
Which is kind of funny because is we all know, Media in FGO or even Fate canon is really not a bad person.
Well, she's not. She feels hurt because she betrays, and she just wants that love that was taken from her. Because originally, Medea didn't care about Jason. No, I can't remember convinced Aphrodite or Eros to make her fall in love with Jason
because it would help Jason in his quest.
Yeah, to help Jason in his quest. So, like, literally, she had her first love taken away from her. Like,
Right.
And once Jason just said, I'm just.
And Jason is a huge douchebag. Let's not mince words.
Yeah, he's a huge douchebag.
So
like, that's like, she kind of has like that like.
But at the same time, I think.
Oh god, her fucking fucking interlude. I think her interlude explains it perfectly.
Yes.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can see why though she would be classed as evil, because she's done some fucked up shit in her time. Sure, she might be justified, but I think
she still did some fucked up shit. But
I think what the kind of the point of like the good versus evil is, even if you can justify it, if you've done something that is bad vis-a-vis like your fellow humans and or I don't know, the future of the world, that's quote unquote evil, right?
Yeah.
Like Medea straight up killed her own children. That cannot be a good action, even if it's because Jason was a dishbag. So she is evil. Mordred, for instance, is chaotic balanced, as they say now, or chaotic neutral, which makes perfect sense for her because she is a chaotic force. She is a force of change. Her rebellion is her nature as a servant, and it forces the change from Arthur's Britain to whatever comes next. But she is balanced or neutral in good versus evil because Mordred does both in her life. She is a very good knight. Artoria leaves canonically to go fight Lancelot in France, and she leaves Mordred in charge. So clearly, she must have been good at her job. If the King of Knights said, you stay here and watch the fort in Britain, which is constantly under attack by lots of bullshit, including picked space aliens, apparently.
Space alien.
That's, I think, how Mordred phrases it in London, that they were like unto aliens.
Hey, if aliens are interested now, they're probably interested in us back then.
But no, so Mordred is clearly a quote-unquote good force. She can be good if she wants, but also, she kind of stabbed her dad, female, in a rebellion. She was very rude to Guinevere as well.
She's also just an all-around kind of bitch.
Yeah, she's got some issues. She's a huge man-child.
Yeah,
child,
definitely
because she's a homunculus, so she has a quote-unquote adult, well, she has Artoria's body, so there's some things to be said there about Avalon, but she doesn't have an adult mentality, which also makes perfect sense why she's quote-unquote balanced. She can do both good or ill, and Apocrypha delves way deeper into what her motivations and character is actually about, which is great. My favorite part.
I'm just gonna sum it up as like, notice me, daddy.
But also, it's funny you mentioned earlier your favorite servant was Semiramis. The moment she got released, I posted a meme on the Reddit, which was, bring me videos of Mordred bullying Semiramis. Because I was a little nettled by the end result of that fight, where Mordred says, oh yeah, I nicked her spirit core. She's dead for sure. And then Mordred fades away, but Semiramis sticks around for like 2 more episodes. I was a little nettled. A little nettled.
Yeah.
I don't care, though. Mordred surfing chains with her sword. Best.
Oh yeah, no, that was Apocrypha saved all their budget for the last couple episodes. That was a fucking good fight, and like I said, it has a great moment where she unpacks what her actual motivation is, which is she thinks to herself, what am I doing here again? Why do I want to wish on the Grail? And she thinks to herself, oh right, it's because I thought my father was super lonely. I want to share that burden with her. I don't want father to have that issue anymore. But she also gets like a vision like, oh, Artoria accepted this responsibility. Okay, I'm just gonna do the very best I can instead.
And then she has a cigarette with Necroman. It's good.
Mordred
That's
is
good.
best.
It is best.
But yeah, so that's how I think a lot of the good, neutral, and evil aspects come into like what does this character do and or has done, and kind of like what's their approach to like helping versus hurting people. And then I think lawful versus chaotic, I think, has a lot to do not just with systems of belief, but also with the structure of the time, because stuff like divine authority, various ages of time period, what destiny is or whatever, that's very important to a lot of characters in the Fate like backdrop, the progression. So I think that is a very key aspect to which characters are lawful versus chaotic. Like,
in fact, it might even be so important it could cause a whole sub-singularity. Salem! Salem!
Yeah, so, that's my 2 bits on how the alignment system works, but, I think there's some more to unpack, and we're not even at 2 hours, so, we can keep going. That's right, my 2 hours is my cutoff. That's when I'm like, okay, we gotta stop, nobody's gonna be here that long. But, so, Voice, you've said this before, let's talk about lawful evil.
Oh, my favorite alignment ever? Oh, yes.
I will admit,
Okay.
to me, lawful evil and I think chaotic good are some of the most dynamic alignments because of what they represent. Because they sound like contradictions. How can you be chaotic but good? How can you be evil but lawful? So I think that those sorts of alignments lead characters to have some of the best possible like depth and nuance. Because we've joked about how everybody who plays a chaotic evil or a lawful good character, they get stupid with it very quick. They just get dumb. Because they're like, well, my character is completely spelled out by this alignment. I'm actually in the South, so I can adopt this voice perfectly. But anyway, so let's talk about lawful evil.
Alright, so the thing about lawful evil is I'm going to check what I had mentioned to you in our comments section, where I basically summarize it. I always like to say this, summarize it as basically a lawful evil character, as long as you both kind of fall in step with the same goals, no one will betray the other. Like, you will be on the same side, everything will go hunky-dory. They might play a few tricks on you here and there, make you guess a little bit, hey, you know. Oh, one of my favorite recent examples is Semiramis' chocolate. She's like, oh yes, this chocolate would kill you if you weren't immune to poison. See what I did there? I'm just like, oh my god, Semiramis-sama, you are too much for me.
Or even her much aligned, but also I think very telling Bond 5, where she's like, this glass in front of you is poisoned, drink it. It's actually a metaphor.
And then she's like, oh, well, this is much like love, I guess, or something like that. I'm like,
yeah, no, she's like, but it was secretly it was a metaphor. I'm not actually trying to poison you. Or am I?
But the thing is, it's like that they are extremely versatile in that they have lawful evil characters tend to have a code, whether it be of ethics, of moral principles, whether they literally have a code spelled out, like they have like a scripture of some kind saying, I'm gonna do this, this, and this, you know, in this way. You know, usually that's why it's reserved for like kings and queens, except for save like the Hassan, who are all lawful evil because, well, they all follow a code, even though their whole code is to kill people.
Professional killers. Professionals. They're professionals.
Yeah, they're very. That's why in game, in FGO, you'll notice the Hassan are very loyal to you, like extremely so. And that's because, well, yeah, they're not one to break what, you know, their whole point of existence is. You know, their whole code, their whole ethics, they have that. Even if that means their job is to kill people, you know? And so, like, even, like, other, like, it was, like, going back to the kings and queens thing, like, especially with queens, it seems to be a theme here. But, like, Wu Zixin, I don't know if I'm saying her name right, but she's another great example where, yeah, she's an awful human being, but...
I believe she's the only other character besides Liz and Carmilla who has torture techniques.
Yeah, she's got plenty of... like, literally, animations, if you've seen them, are some of the most painful things I've ever seen. Like, she has everyone else do the work for her. Like, she has these, like, zombie folk with these, like, they kind of look like these Chinese jumping zombies, but they're not. They got these things over their faces. Sorry, I'm eating at the same time to keep myself alive. But... And it, like, even the weapons they use are, like, covered in blood and stuff. It's horrible looking. But I'm just like... But if you read her lines, she doesn't seem that bad of a human being. You know?
If I remember correctly, she was the Empress of China who, like, basically killed all the, like, successors so she can maintain her rule.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, she fucked everyone up to get to that point.
Yeah, and so she can maintain a stable China so they can keep from devolving into warring states. Like, they did, like, fucking frequently.
Hey,
so even though she did her job well enough to be recognized in history, she's also recognized for being a brutal human being. So it's kind of
she is the scary Satan.
But again,
the job done.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, in FGO, she doesn't seem like that. In fact, she's got like a lot of tsundere qualities, where she's like, "Yes, I'll let you pat my head," you know, or something like that. It's like, "Oh, you're so fucking adorable."
You probably won't stab me.
Yeah, probably won't stab me. She likes me. It's okay. I'm her.
I think that's a lot of the evil waifu characters. Is like, she likes me. She probably won't kill me.
I mean, welcome to Lady Avengers.
I was gonna say, unless they're chaotic evil.
Yeah, Gorgon's stance, I'm pretty sure, is I'll kill you last.
Yeah, or like Shuten Doji, where half of her lines literally, she calls you her husband, and she wants to eat you.
Yeah, I believe she
She
has
wants
a
to
line...
specifically debone you.
Yeah,
and
which is
eat
one of
you.
her noble phantasms, by the way. She has Oni Kung Fu. She can literally punch all you...
Oh, no, yeah. Like, one of her animations, she literally rips the opponent right through. Like, holy
but
shit!
I believe Shujin Doji is the one with a line where she says something to the effect of she implies, you'd be interested in having sex with her, but then she's like, but I'm an Oni, so don't be surprised if I bite it off. And you're like,
Yeah, oh, no, yeah, she says a lot of stuff like that. And then, like, literally her bond lines, more and more, she's like, I want Oni so bad! She gets, like, more and more in heat with each bond level. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Or, like, or, of course, classic example, Kiara, she wants to suck you into Heaven's Hole real bad. But she literally utters a paragraph to you in Bond Level 5 where she's like, which of us will succumb first?
Well, like, honestly, that's the thing about Kiara, though.
She almost has a personal rule, which is like, I'm going to be here and be me and be seductive, but also, I need you to make the decision. Because I said,
really.
Well, as I said, like, Kiara's a sadomasochist, and as much as she wants you to fall into her temptation, she also wants you to succeed against her temptation.
Yes, that is true.
Well, yeah, because Kiara also has a very weird thing where one of her skills is Nega Saver. She is literally an evil messiah. She thinks she's trying to cure the universe and bring peace on Earth and all that. It's just her idea of what that is very selfish and fucked up.
Yeah, you could say it's fucked up.
The universe's most powerful orgasm. Yep.
Yeah.
That's why I like Kiara-sama so much.
Yeah.
But the funniest thing is a certain little girl who is chaotic evil. I've been hinting at, who is a lot of people seem to not understand why she's there. I believe you know who I'm referring to.
Yeah, I know. I think there might be some aya involved.
Yes. I believe she's a little white girl who began the foreigner memes.
Yes.
I believe her name is...
Hokusai comes along and is like, yo, super Japan.
Her name is Abigail Williams.
that's her name.
Everybody should know, we talked about Abigail before when she was first introduced.
Oh, yes. And, I cannot believe how many times I but she's so precious! And it's like, here's the thing. You were talking about
she's very
how
precious in her...
retroactively seem to view themselves and how that...
She's very precious in her first ascension.
No, here's the thing. There's multi-layers to why she's chaotic. Number one, just even in her first form, she recognizes, like, in the story, in the plot of Salem, she's even like, yeah, I did a lot of very bad things. Yes, because that canon is still there. She's still famous for those things that she did.
Right.
For
the Crucible,
the accusations and whatnot in Nasuverse.
Which, even if the
Salem,
Crucible isn't literally true, it's a story that is written in this universe and thus history.
Right. And so...
the debate about fictional versus real servants is another deep discussion topic.
So she recognizes that she did very bad things. And honestly, considering what happened, I would exactly label it as a chaotic, evil circumstance. In those exact words, what happened to the... or anything like it, Yeah. Just the Salem witch trials in general. I mean, literally, the Salem witch trials, She caused that. But
has that as
there's another layer
as a personal skill, too.
Yes. But there's another layer to it. See, then she comes back as a servant. I'm not going to try to spoil it too much, but it's kind of obvious given her third ascension.
Yeah, there's
she's possessed by an outer god.
She's plugged into the big Yogg.
Yeah, into the big Yogg. Yeah, she took a full plunge, and she's literally part of the chaos now.
Yeah, Yogg's thought is sometimes called the key and gate. Abigail has a giant keyhole in her forehead. Don't be dumb,
and she
guys.
has 2 giant keys.
Exactly. So yeah, also her NP is fucking amazing to watch.
Yeah, it is.
I suppose. I'm more of a Hokusai fan myself. But,
well, yeah, obviously I like Hokusai better, but that's because I recognize the Great Wave of Kanagawa, and I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, art, bitches.
Nah, I like Abigail more as a character, but I think she doesn't. But that's just me.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. There's gonna be 2 foreigner gotchas pretty close together. I'm gonna be rolling on the Hokusai one.
Rip wallet.
Well, yeah, my wallet's gonna rip because Areshikakal is also in that time period.
God damn, that's right.
Yeah, no,
She's right in between.
That,
She's
like,
Christmas time.
November, December, and then into a little bit into January block is fucking bad. Because then there are also Salem story locks, like Caster of Midrash.
Ah, Queen of Sheba.
Now, luckily, Kirky is not a story lock, but she is on a rate up then as well. So that's rough.
Yes, Kirky. Ooh. Too many good waifus from that chapter.
Yeah, that was a real big deal chapter, I think. I mean, hell, Lavinia's not actually a servant, but she's real popular.
Real popular.
She's adorable, which is very interesting considering how the Dunwich Horror was written. But anyway, typical Nasu verse works.
But anyway, yeah, I mean, I just don't get why people are so confused by that one in particular. Like, that one I think is just really spelled out pretty clear, considering that she even ascends into a Lovecraftian horror. You know, yeah. I'm like, how is this not chaotic evil to you people? Like,
but
look
at her.
Chaotic
Evil servant who I think I just mentioned.
Her final ascension art, I always love to put it this way, her final ascension art literally looks like she's gonna bite your dick off. That is exactly the face she makes.
Well, I'm gonna pull this up. Lucky, future Lucky, in the time codes, remember to put Abigail's final ascension art here. Also, future Lucky, I'm very fucking sorry. Because we are now at
this is gonna take a while.
50 minutes.
Not even
Don't worry about it, that's okay. The video's not gonna finish production tonight, probably. Because I have to do editing. But whatever, it's great. I think we're kind of winding down, but talking about chaotic evil. There's one chaotic evil servant that confuses the shit out of everybody, who we just mentioned, and that's a Reshkigal.
Oh right, yes.
Because she's, as a Reshkigal, you need to keep in mind, is possessing Rin's physical body, which is a big fucking deal. That is very important to why her character is the way. But Reshkigal's chaotic evil, and she seems very nice. She seems very sweet compared to Ishtar, and Ishtar's lawful good. And you're like, wow, if this huge bitch can be lawful good, why does a Reshkigal have to be chaotic evil? Well, one, I'm pretty sure Reshkigal is chaotic evil because that is the literal opposite alignment from Ishtar's, and they are supposed to be the night and day type sisters characters. They are supposed to be the opposites. And also, they may have been the same goddess who was split, so, whatever. Mythology's weird.
And
guys.
Even better, Ereshkigal is the goddess of the underworld.
Yeah, she's the goddess of death. Also, her spear, that's the divine authority with a capital A of Nergal, who is the god of war and disease and other bad things. So, Ereshkigal is the goddess of death, and she wields a weapon that represents the authority of stuff that kills humans, to further our discussion about what evil represents. Also, she seems very nice and very orderly about her job, but, like, mythologically speaking, Ereshkigal's not nice either. Like, okay, Ishtar was kind of rude to her to try and steal her secrets by coming down and invading the underworld, but the gods sent a message to literally bail Ishtar out, and Ereshkigal was like, no, I'm keeping that bitch. And when Ishtar got out anyway, like she sent a horde of demons. A horde of demons to roll around the countryside and try and get Ishtar back or find a replacement. And when Ishtar found her lazy husband, boyfriend, whatever character, just lazing around, not mourning her at all, because technically she was dead, she was like, yo, take that, asshole. And the demons were like, okay. So the demons were perfectly okay with a technically innocent person being dragged into the underworld. And by the way, Ereshkigal's underworld fucking sucks. It is dark. The dead have to eat sand. It is not a nice place, no matter how well, and no matter how much the trains run on time. The underworld's not cool. Also, Ereshkigal has to struggle with not just killing you to put you in the underworld so she can be with you forever. In case you guys didn't pick up on that. Like,
I picked up on that.
That is a personal struggle she has. She has to think about, no, that's really dumb. I shouldn't do that. That would be bad.
Oh, but I want to own you so bad!
But I love you and I want to keep you forever because I'm a spooky shut-in goddess. Meanwhile, Ishtar is lawful good. Because despite the fact that she's kind of a bitch in some stories, she is a very important goddess for humans from her time period. Like, what are her portfolios? Sure, she governs, like, war, but also, like, love and certain government. She has a very important legend where she redistributed the sacred knowledge, the maze, to her city-state. She basically gave her city, her chosen city, the power of civilization. Real big deal. And also, oddly enough, in the Epic of Gilgamesh, Unashaptim, or something like that. Gilgamesh goes to him in like the third act, basically, because he's seeking immortality. This is the one guy who survived the great chaotic flood that I think it was tried to destroy all humanity. He was like the one dude who survived, proving that story is fucking. Ishtar shows up to him and she cries and swears that she and the other gods will not allow humanity to be destroyed again. So, gee, she actually sounds okay. She's kind of a bitch to Gilgamesh for reasons, but, and yes, she did blow up a mountain because liked it more than her, maybe. But
you know, Omega, you just kind of gave me a thought about chaotic evil waifu.
Yeah?
I just noticed a theme here, and that, particularly with the waifus, I can't say this for males necessarily, but for the waifus, they all, if you look at, like, every single one of them, they all want something from you, or something of you, really fucking badly, and they're doing everything possible inside their well-being to keep themselves from doing that. For example, they either want to fuck you, they want to eat you, they want to be inside your womb, like Jack. Or like in Ereshigal's case, she wants to own you in the underworld.
Jean also wants to burn
Carmilla's
you.
not like that. Carmilla just kind of wants to do her own thing.
Well, I don't know. It's debatable if Carmilla's your waifu. Though she
I
does
don't know,
go from,
man.
She does switch from don't touch me
I
to
think
please
she'd
touch
want
me
me as her whipping boy. I'm just saying.
But also,
you
could argue Carmilla wants your blood.
Because she only drinks women's blood.
Yeah.
If you're Gudako, yeah. But
there you go. Now you're thinking.
But like the thing about Carmilla is Carmilla's like really tsundere. Like you see it in her Bond lines. Like starting out, she's like, "Don't fucking touch me," and then like in Bond 5 is like, "Won't you touch me?" And they're like, "Whoa, girl."
Yeah, oh, okay. And also, pirates don't count, because pirates are just naturally chaotic evil, it seems
They
like.
are criminals who
pirates.
Kill people for fun
Yeah,
and profit. They are, by definition,
so.
they have to be chaotic evil. Even if Drake is real cool.
Right.
She's a pirate captain, who might also be Elizabeth I,
maybe.
They're kind of ambiguous about that.
Bonnie and Anne chaotic evil? I'm assuming so.
They're also, they're pirates. They're chaotic evil, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like you said, they really don't want you because, like, in history, they were lesbian lovers, so
that's what I said. Excluding the pirates.
Yeah. But also, I'm pretty
evil.
sure that Summeran and Bonnie anyway are like, if you're a dude, they're like, hey, we'll turn this into a three-way.
Oh yeah. No, they want to fuck. But
they're like, no, we had a man in this relationship before. We can stick another one in there.
Yeah,
because that is also.
I'm down. I'm down to clown.
But no, like I think you're right, Voice. A lot of the, which makes perfect sense because we talked about how evil is the selfish.
Right.
They want things and they don't necessarily care about things to other people. You know, we mentioned Gorgon wants to eat you. Like literally, she's like, "I'm hungry. You're not giving me enough energy." And her version of mana transfer is to just eat you, rather than the fun way.
Oh, and this even applies to Abigail because she does have multiple lines throughout the course of the game where she's like, "Please spoil me, Daddy."
Also,
she wants to spoil. She wants you to spoil her really bad, and whatever that means, it sounds
also,
kinky.
There's some very concerning.
I'm just gonna go with infinite head pats.
Infinite head. That's the safe choice.
But be careful. That's where the keyhole is, buddy.
Spoil me in the keyhole.
If you pop a finger in there, you might not get that finger back.
Yeah, really.
The infinite cosmos of time and space that is Yog-Sothoth might eat your fingers.
It just might. I mean, after all, I'm sure we all saw that meme where Ibaraki's like, "Hey, what's that keyhole?" And then she looks into time and space looks back.
Poor banana. Constantly. Shuten also wants to have sex and or eat you. She can't make up her mind.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but that's what you get for like one of the three great demons of Japan.
Yeah, her, Tammo, and then some other third one that I can't remember.
Tengu. Great Tengu. Can't remember.
Tengu's. Let's see.
Yeah, where are they, man?
Traits.
All bird people.
Can I get a list of everybody who's chaotic? No, I don't think so.
Meave is another one who wants to fuck you, by the way. She will probably fuck you. She'll fuck anything, really.
If we want to talk about morality, Maeve's NPs are pretty fucked up. She's got her mobile rape chariot and her roofie NP. In case you didn't know, that's one of her other NPs.
She has like, I read somewhere, she has like, what is it, like 8 possible noble phantasms or something like that?
Yeah, the other thing, she has her chariot, she has her, like I said, she has her roofie NP, she literally has magic alcohol. And then she also has the ability to steal other noble phantasms. The Maeve Beam that she does in her updated animations, that's probably Fergus, my love, which lets her steal Calidbolg.
Oh right, yeah, because I read Caliban. Yeah, it could be.
So she because Fergus
Apparently.
really wants to bone her, she can hijack his noble phantasm. Because if Maeve told Fergus to do something, he'd be like, okay. And she has another one where she can steal another one of her lovers' epic level clairvoyance. Maeve's real OP, but that's probably because Nasu said that she was his favorite servant. So naturally, there's some author favoritism there. But no,
Maeve is OP, super OP.
I mean, she's kind of a big deal. So it's not. Lots of the Celtic servants are actually really.
Everybody fronting on Maeve like, she's the queen of the thoughts, and it's like, yeah, but she'll also kick your ass. I mean, literally, she'll kick a piece of cheese in your ass with her updated animations. Like,
Yeah.
damn, I love that. I love that fucking flying
Anti-cheese maneuvers.
Yeah.
Let me actually check.
She's like,
what her
was
stats
it
are.
this stream where you guys were saying, oh yeah, too early for that, bitch?
Yeah, no, it was
That
like
made me laugh so hard. I was just like, because that's so true. I'm just like, that's exactly it. I can't unimagine her saying that line now.
Let's see, what are her... she's only E strength, but still, she got some moves. By the way, if you're curious,
She has EX luck, though.
Yeah. That's
like,
her best.
damn.
That's her best stat. Her luck is crazy high, and she has a B agility. That girl fast.
Yeah, she's fast. She's got an A plus NP. I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, because she
She's
got a lot
like,
of them. But
like 8,
yeah, no,
9,
like
10 of them.
chaotic is a weird. Chaotic evil is a weird alignment, but I think you're right. Almost all of them want something out of you. Like, arguably, maybe Liz shouldn't be chaotic evil anymore because she's had character development. Theoretically.
Oh my god. Like, is she even a bad person anymore? She's had so much character development. Like, my god.
But at the same time,
they've oversaturated Liz to the
Bathory
point
is
that it's like,
real
yeah,
fucked
she's
up.
chaotic. Christ.
All right, here we go. So everybody's
She's chaotic idol.
Abigail.
Chaotic.
in
You know
there.
what? I like that. Chaotic idol.
Yeah, so there's some
Yeah.
gag alignments we might want to mention we might have mentioned as we round things out.
Oh, yeah.
So Madness is a legal alignment. Lancelot Berserker is lawful madness, and Herc is chaotic madness.
I always wondered what neutral madness was.
Yeah, I want to see a neutral madness servant. I think the madness alignment means that you are too crazy for morality. Like
That makes
you are-
sense. I mean, look at
Your
these guys.
madness enhancement is dialed so high, good and evil are no longer concepts you understand. Thus, calling you good or evil is pointless.
What, like, my question is Lancelot Berserker, like, only that because of Fate Zero? Is there, like, another story in that? Because
Well,
Berserker Herc is
Lancelot
because...
makes a berserker, and like well, to qualify as berserker, you have to have gone berserk one time in your life. But no, like literally, if you've ever watched Monty Python and the Holy Grail, those jokes about Lancelot just going crazy and stabbing everybody, that's true. Those are true to the original myths. Like sometimes he would just stab motherfuckers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which is why it makes perfect sense.
Okay,
that he
because
can be
I know
lawful
Herc is
madness.
because, like, literally Hera was all like, you remind me of my husband, and that pisses me off. Go kill your wife.
Yeah, no, he was cursed, but that was what made him berserk. But also,
Yeah.
in Fate specifically, the Ironsburns dialed madness enhancement up to maximum levels to make Herc as broken as possible. Other noble phantasms
Yeah.
don't need that shit. We literally just need God Hand and him to be crazy high parameters. Though oddly enough, in FGO, he doesn't get to use God Hand. He gets instead, which have a really weird naming convention.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so pirates are mostly chaotic evil. Kyo is chaotic evil because she'll fucking burn your ass if you lie to her or upset her insane worldview
Well,
in
don't
any
love
way.
her.
Yeah, she wants you to love her and not lie to her. That's what she wants, and it's because her worldview is real fucked up.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Which, oh man, the spoilers on that story. Oh, FGO's canon is whack, yo.
Yeah, I remember that stuff. FGO's real weird.
Man.
Let's see. I think the only other, interestingly enough, the only other chaotic evil female servant is Mochizuki Chiyome that we haven't really discussed about. I don't know
I'll
if
admit,
she...
I don't know much about her. She's
No, I
like
don't-
one of my least favorites.
Is it because of the fishnets? By the way,
what the servant looks like.
Chiyome is also a super chuny looking servant. She's got an eye patch, which conceals an evil eye, and she's got covered in bandages.
Oh, freaking Ouroboros girl.
Yeah, Orochi. Which, by the way, is why I think she's chaotic evil is because she is attached to a cult who, she is a Miko, a priestess of a cult attached to Yamada no Orochi, who is a major big
Yeah,
bad.
that's why. Not
Oh.
Ouroboros. Orochi. God damn it, Japanese. I'm getting
Either way, yeah, that sounds bad.
Oh, we also
Something
talked
bad.
about joke alignments. Summer is a legitimate alignment.
Oh yeah, chaotic summer, neutral summer.
No
Sounds
lawful
legit.
summer yet, but Fran and Tamamo no Mai Lancer are both neutral summer. naturally, Nobu and Nero Summer are Chaotic Summer. Also, Nero Bride, Chaotic Bride. Don't ask me how that works. I guess there's no good and evil, there's only weddings.
There is only love, which sounds a lot like Kiyohime.
It also sounds a lot like Nero. Praise me, love me, I am the best.
I am my own alignment, because I am a special snowflake.
This is the emperor who
Nero.
literally added singing to the Olympics, so they can have something.
By the way, neutral evil. We didn't really talk about Suzuka Gozen is also in there, which makes perfect sense because she is literally a demon sent to corrupt mankind, and she only does it because she falls in love with a dude.
That one actually makes sense. She's still awesome, though. I don't care.
I mean, she's pretty rad. I learned a lot about her because of some reasons that I guess are technically spoilers that we talked about off mic, so I'll leave them out. But I read a little bit more into her because I was like, read about her, and then I'm like, oh, telekinetic swords. Eat.
Lots of telekinetic swords. Unlimited swords works. That's what I'll call it. Because,
that fate did give me a huge enjoyment for Reigns of Swords, so...
It's totally not like another Noble Phantasm. Best part is, though, this one's older. Technically speaking. It could be like the Artoria hair! Where it's like, yes! Canonically, Artoria got her hairstyle because Nero was the one who started it even way back in, the before times! Yeah!
Because technically Nero is older, and I think Artoria's name is supposed to be Latinate, so it makes sense they could be related.
Yes. Perfect. It all makes sense now.
I think I've been looking at some of our balanced characters. That's a pretty interesting field. Like, that can be a little dull sometimes.
Yeah, that's what I want to talk about before we stopped all.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. We're over 2 hours now, by the way, but I think Truncate will eat some of that. But let's talk about neutral really quick.
Yes.
Because we're doing everything. So let's talk about, or as the game phrases it, balanced. Oh, I was wrong. Robin Hood is neutral good. Robin Hood's neutral, but his story is a classic example of chaotic good. But anyway, so balanced is weird. Like, these people, they do good, they do bad, they do some okay stuff.
Actually, I think Robin Hood is alright, is balanced, because I think as they explain in FGO, he doesn't do them for the good, he doesn't do them bad, he does them because they need to be, he does it because it needs to be done.
Well, he's still neutral good, I mean, but I was just saying that he's not actually chaotic good. But anyway, no, like balanced serve.
I mean, the only one here, there are a few who, Void Shiki and Emiya, they both make sense to me.
As true neutral, or as it was phrased in the original visual novel, Emiya was neutral.
Close enough.
Which is funny. That makes perfect sense for Emiya, and super perfect sense for Void Shiki.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just all-powerful, but also I have seen the beginning and the ending, so literally nothing matters, so why the fuck would I do anything?
Yeah.
I could unmake all creation if I wanted, but that would be dumb, because I already know how that would end, so why bother?
And, okay, Enkidu does make sense, because Enkidu is literally just... His gender is weapon.
Yes, he is a weapon. A divine construct made of clay.
It's like giving your gun an alignment.
And actually, now that you say that, it's arguable that could be why Okita is neutral balanced, because she is just a swords person. She is all about her mastery of the sword. She's not evil, per se.
Even though she's super waifu.
Yes, but, she's done good.
A lot of great victory
she's probably done good and bad in her life, but she's not really lawful, she's not really chaotic, she's just about swords and stuff. Much like Tomoe is neutral balanced because she is all about that dude who was her husband, not you, Rip.
Yeah. Even though she'd make a great berserker because she definitely went berserker in her life.
Yeah, that would be if they want to do an alternate version of her. Apart from the fact that she can also be a saber, berserker would also work. Kato Danzo makes a good example of a neutral balanced servant because
even better because she's a robot.
Yeah, she's a literal automaton. Though if you want to talk about neutral balanced from like a just does whatever prospect, that's our man Billy Shakes.
Yeah.
He can write comedy or tragedy, whatever he fucking feels like.
Which one is going to make a better story?
Oh my god, it took me a second to catch on to that Billy Shakes.
Yeah, that's our man. William Shakespeare, Billy Shakes.
Oh my god, I love that nickname. Oh my god,
I'm surprised you haven't heard it before. We use
I have
it all
never
the time.
heard that before, Billy Shakes.
I don't think we really made a big deal out of it before, so it's possible.
Yeah.
Oh my god. But actually, you know what's weird? Another automaton. I did notice this, and I'm glad I just remembered because you were talking. Kato Danzo, Charles Babbage is chaotic neutral.
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, it's because of his reality marble.
Is it because of the context of the story? I guess.
Maybe.
He just envisions a world of steam.
Yeah, I think it's because he's a force of change. He's trying to change the world to be something different.
That makes sense. And it's not good or evil. He just wants.
Right.
He just
wants to realize the dream of steam.
Yeah, the dream of steam. Yeah.
Steam dream.
By the way,
alliteration makes me laugh.
Yeah.
But okay, that when you put it like that, that makes sense.
Fran is also chaotic neutral because she's a blank slate, but I think she's chaotic because stuff in her story. She disrupts some shit. I'm not quite sure why Ushi is chaotic balanced.
I think Ushi is chaotic balanced because she was considered such a genius at warfare that she really didn't give any sort of what's the word? She didn't give any sort of mind to like establish tactics, and she just did whatever she wanted to on the battlefield.
She is kind of a free spirit.
Yeah, and she kind of free spirit about it, and she was just so good at it that no one could tell her to stop.
Like, two of our great
leaders, like, well, when you kick...
Ozymandias and good old Roma are both chaotic balanced as well, according to this chart I'm looking at. Which I think that talks about our different, like, between, like, lawful and chaotic. We talked a little bit, like, what Babbage might be chaotic. I think that's because they are both, like, they are not lawful because they made the law. They made a new existence for their realms. Romulus founded the Kingdom of Rome, and Ozymandias as Ramses II, aka Ramses the Great, was kind of one of the defining pharaohs of Egyptian history. You know, he's kind of a big deal. Also,
that, and I mean... Yeah, in the context of the in the context of the narrative, I mean, if you just look at Ozzy, just the way he talks, he kind of just does whatever the fuck he wants.
He also canonically kind of gave the big finger to the Almighty. He acted in opposition to Moses.
That was not a good thing.
Backed by a capital G God. So, which is why I think he's balanced. He's not good or evil. He's just, I am Ozymandias. So that's talking about chaotic balance. Now, you had some comments in your stream about lawful balanced, if you want to reiterate those.
Oh, what, lawful? Oh, right.
Lawful
or
neutral.
Lawful neutral, as I put. Where it's basically, at least in D&D, it's, if there's a law or a code, they follow it to a T, and there is no good or evil. There is no right or wrong. There is only the code. There is only whatever they live by, and that's it. Like, that's why I always felt like lawful neutral boring type of character you could ever write, because it's like even though they are interesting in their own right, but they're kind of unshakable. They believe a thing and they will believe it to their very core, and they'll stick to it. It's not necessarily that it's good or evil, it's just this is the way. You know?
I think that makes sense if you look at a lot of these guys. Like, if you want to talk about husbandom, all of your favorite shirtless Celts are in lawful balance or lawful neutral, which makes perfect fucking sense, because Ku is kind of a dickbag in his own story in a lot of ways, but he is, so you could argue he's not good or evil, but he is definitely a force that has a way he does things, and he is, you know, a big deal in a lot of Celtic, even Irish, the Gias, the you have an unbreakable rule you have to follow in your life. If you do not, bad shit happens, and or the Gias is, by the way, this is your destiny, this is how you're going to die.
Get wrecked.
So that's a big deal for a lot of them. Hector is lawful neutral. That also makes sense. He is just a prince of Troy. He's not a good or a bad guy. Nobu is lawful neutral. Once again, Nobu is not good or evil. Nobu is just... Now, you might argue, why isn't Nobu chaotic? But I think it's because she does have a rigid belief system. She is like, no, we need to move into the fucking new century here.
Right.
Yeah, she didn't, like, wage war on all Japan for, like, selfish purposes. It's like, no, we need to move forward, otherwise we...
I am going to change how things are done. Basically, we're talking about Scheherazade. She's lawful neutral, which I wonder.
Actually, kind of makes sense because I mean, looking at this a little bit deeper, I'm like, if I had to define it by like one word, like a lot of these people seem unshakable. Like they are fixed on a goal and they will see it through. So in like Scheherazade's case, she just wants to live, and she will do everything she can to make sure she lived through through all the nights she was with that prince.
Balanced, she is not good or evil. Though, even though she is a heroine in her storytelling, she is supposed to be a good force. Her actual character is much more like, I'd prefer not to die. Okay, thanks.
Which even makes sense.
Keep me in your room. Don't send me into battle.
Yeah, that even makes sense in Agartha. Yeah, like she's just Like, yeah, I just, that's her unshakable creed. She wants to live.
I'm gonna get real good at storytelling.
Leonidas is another lawful neutral character. It makes perfect sense. He's not a good or bad person. He is just the Spartan king.
Mm-hmm.
Arjuna is lawful neutral. Where is Karna's
Didn't
actually
Arjuna
lawful
betray
good,
frickin' Karna?
Betray is debatable. Like, some people think that Karna gets wanked on a little to be, like, lawful good and be so cool and awesome, because he may or may not actually be good in his own story. But Karna is the hero of charity. Because he came from nothing, he does have a lot of in his mythology about, he's like, whatever. Indra asks him, hey, give me your invincible armor, which is also your skin, and he's like, okay, cool. And then, in some tellings, other gods have to be like, yo, Indra, that's not cool, you have to give him something back. And he's like, okay, I'll give you my god-killing dart.
Dart?
Yeah, that's what the literal translation is it's some kind of, like, throwing implement. But in FGO, it's a fucking Fate and Gem, a huge spear that shoots sunbeams. By the way, you will see a lot of goddesses in good, which I think has to do with their nature as divine beings. And quite a few in lawful good, like Ishtar's in there, Pavarti is in there, Ketz is in there.
I'm just waiting for us to get more of Incarnation. Kali. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have divine privilege. Should check their privilege.
I find it very interesting. Nitocris is characterized as lawful good, despite the fact that Nitocris is much more well-known, I think, for being a very villainous character in, not H.P. Lovecraft specifically, but Lovecraft mythos stories. She is supposed to be an evil queen who is a cultist of Nyarlathotep.
That's what it.
Yeah, that's what she's more famous for, because her original story was reported in Herodotus or something, and it was possibly apocryphal, but that's where her assassin forms, noble phantasm, comes from. She collected all her brother's killers together in a death trap and drowned in the water of the Nile.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
Yeah, no, Nito surprised me deep. She is
but
not
she's
just
such a nice lady in FGO.
I know, that's why I said it's like, I think it's really weird.
Did you kill her brother?
Which is true. That's her lawful. That's her one rule. Did you kill my brother? YN. No? Okay, we're cool. I'm a
Here, I'll play jokes on you. I'll put a sheet on me and pretend I'm a god.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, this might just be waifuism, but Penthesilea, it's my best attempt at saying that name, she's also lawful good.
Yeah, because she's a nicer person than Achilles.
True. But Achilles is a real bro. Also, I wonder, is Achilles going to be maybe lawful good when he comes out, or will he be maybe like lawful balanced like Hector?
I'm thinking lawful balanced.
Yeah, he'll probably be neutral, because Achilles is not a nice dude.
No.
But
he's definitely a bro, but wouldn't say nice.
Well, it's like most Greek heroes.
If you were to ask me, what
is Odysseus' alignment? I would say probably chaotic balanced, because Odysseus does some real fucked up shit.
A lot of trap.
Also, the Romans didn't like Odysseus, or rather Ulysses, because their values were different. They saw him as like a sneaky coward, but the Greeks were like, no, this guy thinks, he's cool.
He adventures, he solves problems with his mind, he sleeps with a lot of women.
Do with Odysseus as a servant, because Odysseus has a very interesting story, and also I fucking love the Odyssey.
Kirke.
Kirke is also
she just wants someone to love.
On her desert island, literally.
Yeah.
But also, she may turn you into pigs, which kind of violates sacred hospitality, which is why she's probably chaotic. She breaks the rules, but she's not really good or evil, she's just lonely. Also, it's very
like
interesting.
Most of these women, it seems.
I'm about to say, it's all like... What
very
makes a
interesting.
fake Grand Order waifu? Hey, is she
Vlad?
lonely? Yes. No.
Yeah. Is she lonely?
Here's a funny thing. Extra Vlad is lawful good. Apocryphal Vlad, aka Berserker Vlad, he's chaotic evil because he's
just like how their classes are completely reversed.
Yeah, it's weird.
Well, there's like the vampire aspect Vlad, and then there's the hero of Mania.
But also the Vlad from Extra is a whole different kettle of fish. He is basically a literal different character.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
Though, before we end up, because I think, let me guess, yep, we're at 2:20.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I know.
You're gonna have to cut some of this down, bro.
I might.
Jesus.
I might. I will definitely edit out some silence, I think, and we'll see if we can cut some of the fluff. Maybe not.
Paraphrasing!
But, yeah, so, I think I want to round out, alignments are not necessarily absolute. We have definitely talked about, there seems to be a certain amount of subjectivity, whether or not that's Nasu or whatever, whoever's writing the servants,
History is very questionable. That is what we should take away from this.
So, there are some oddballs in there, like Amakusa Shiro. Sure, he's lawful good because what he thinks is doing is technically for the betterment of humanity, and he is above things like hate and anger. But he will stone cold murk you in the back if he thinks he can get what he wants.
He is such a nice guy.
He is a nice guy who will shove a key in your back if you are between him and the Holy Grail.
Yeah.
And
but you know what? Afterwards,
Liz is still chaotic evil, even though she is not a...
She is reformed!
She is not driven by madness anymore. Because remember, Liz was originally a berserker with mental illness as a skill. So, yeah.
She's just so lonely.
Again, fate waifuism. Yes, no, is lonely.
Well, yeah, also, if you want to talk about it, like, you could argue that Liz's problem comes from the fact that she was raised in an isolated, noble environment with lots of disposable human beings around her, and she was just like, oh, gee, nobody ever taught me how to be a good, righteous person. I'm just gonna engage in all kinds of horrible stuff for my own amusement because I have nothing else in life.
That, and eventually she got trapped in a box. Because despite all of her rage, she is still just a rat in the... Wow, I went there. I mean, hey, she's an idol, she likes music, why not a reference?
Sure. So there's some interesting debate that can be had about characters, and definitely you look at some of these alignments, and you're like, oh gee, it's a pretty lady, and she's not outright evil, thus she must be defaulted to good. As we said, like, why is Nudicrous lawful good, but say Ozymandias is... chaotic neutral, Cleopatra's lawful neutral, stuff like that.
It's like my brain says, yes, she should definitely be evil, but my penis says she's good no matter what.
Yes, the other.
We gotta justify this attraction somehow.
We can solve all problems with lawful dickings. Even
Yes.
they just need your dick.
Or chaotic dickings. Those are acceptable.
Just
Neutral dickings.
Paracelsus is chaotic good, for instance, which probably fits his character, but also he's done some real messed up shit in his life.
Yeah, he's done some messed up shit in just Fate Universe in general.
Yeah, that's what I mean, though. Like, he's done some shit in his past, which is why he tries to be super nice to you, because he's like, yo, I've really fucked this up before, so I'm gonna try to be good.
Try.
So yeah, take all this with a grain of salt. And wow, we've come to the end. I'm not going to mention the thing about the subreddit, because that's pointless at this time. So we're going to wrap up. Lucky, the Europa Episode Blu-ray is going to come out May 9th of this.
Yep. I've been seeing things on Twitter about it, so everyone get hype. Prepare for
I
next
will
draft.
also say, if you like our alignment discussion, we are prototyping an alignment shirt at a shirt store. You can get like our channel logo and other dumb stuff we said. We're working on an alignment shirt which will ask you, what is your alignment? And we'll have such lovely offense as Lawful Mama, Chaotic Lewd, or Neutral Trap. We're working on making it the prettiest, so if you're interested in that sort of thing, that'll be on Teespring soon. I'm sure I'll tweet about it or something.
Like, I have literally been working on this I can do this. Astolfo shirt like half this damn episode.
Astelfo?
Astelfo.
Astolfo. The ass does flow.
By the way, we have a shirt for that too, your Astolfo pronunciation guide. It tells you exactly how to pronounce those syllables.
Yeah, but I felt like it needs the actual trap on it, so I've been working on that.
Yeah, so we're working on an enhanced version. Nope. So we've come to the end of our episode, and so I will say, as always, if you like this episode, give it a like. If you don't like this episode, give it a dislike, because that's funny.
We love dislikes. We laugh at them.
Obviously, if you have any comments about any of this incredible mess, oh my god, 2.5 hours, our longest episode yet. But once I truncate silence, it will probably not be 2.5 hours. We'll see how much time we lose from our long, awkward pauses just before I even get to any kind of cutting out. Also, obviously, we have a Discord link, so jump in there. We've mentioned it several times. We have lots of lovely discussions, screen caps, whatever, all that stuff in there. And of course, if you are new here and you have not already, please subscribe. That's the best way to keep track of all our videos, get all our latest stuff when it comes out. Other than, of course, supporting us on Patreon, you can get the audio version of this for as little as $1 a month. And hey, a new month just started, so you don't have to pay us for several weeks. And also other stuff. And if you're not interested in a long-term Patreon commitment, like I said, we have shirts. We have a shirt out in the wild. So they're out there, so you might want to start buying them up so you can identify yourselves, fellow fans. That's a great way to give us a little bunts without making a long-term commitment. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time.
All right, just real quick, I definitely want to thank Voice of St. Corns for joining us tonight. It's been an effing blast.
Awesome.
Yeah. It's like, was not expecting over 2 hours, but you know what? I'm glad it did. Got a
That's
lot
what
out.
happens when you talk to me.
Yes, it is. Now we just gotta figure out what to do with your body after we're done.
Oh, I forgot about that. I was having such a good time. Please leave me alone. Oh, I thought I was gonna get out of here.